so deep, so well thought out, that it was something very specific and entertaining. Hi, I'm Jason. You are watching an actual play on Happy Jack's RPG. Our show is called The Drop. We are playing Powered by the Traveller, sort of. A rule set that is in flux and fluxing as we go. So, my name is Jason. I am your ringmaster, and I'm joined by a number of, very talented people and one untalented one. So, no. Michelle, would you like to tell the people who you are, a little about your character, and if the characters were in a band, what would you play?
Oh, goodness. Okay. I'm Michelle Otis, and my character, well, her name is Cece, and if she was in a band, she's a mechanic. I think if she was in a band, she'd be the bass player.
Well, yeah, that feels right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought of this question earlier today and realized I wasn't 100% sure what all of you would pick. I assume I think I know what Joey's going to pick, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not, but
Well, is there a rhombus-shaped instrument that I can play?
Yes. Yeah.
I just realized I was muted.
Oh, no!
That's okay.
Okay, well, I bet it came through somewhat.
Yeah.
Nick, who are you? Who is your character, and what would they play in the band?
My character is way too loud. Hold on just one second while I adjust my levels. My character is Satch Balabanov, and he is a pilot. He runs sort of a scavenger and salvage operation out here on the ring. And the thing is, I would have said bass also.
We could have two bass players.
I don't think any of us is going to take the lead guitar. Or are you lead guitar, or would you be singing just
or
front
both?
man?
Oh, clearly both.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, it's a strong David Bowie vibe there.
Very, very that.
See, I had my guess for Balabanov was drums, but maybe that's our boxer.
I was kind of thinking that the person who likes to beat things up. Would
Yeah,
be,
yeah. Interesting.
I wasn't. Yeah, sure. That's where I was going anyway.
Yep. So, Joey, who are you? What are you doing?
Wait, I'm sorry. One last thing. As is tradition, then, guitar.
Ah,
There it is.
There you go.
Yes, guitar.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
I live. So I am Joey. I am playing Max Ego, a.k.a. Draupnir Station Sweetheart, a.k.a. the biggest celebrity on the station, a.k.a. the lead singer of this band of misfits. And, here to mess up your life in the best way possible.
I'm going to put that on my Tinder profile.
Good.
I'm here to ruin your life. Hello. Sorry, no. I made myself laugh. Hi, I'm Clara. I play Yrsa Avon, the boxer and bodyguard for this problem. If Yrsa was in our band, she'd probably play drums. It's in the back. Real Kim Pine vibes from Scott Pilgrim.
Right, yes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's our band called?
That's an important one. A great follow-up. Thank you.
Is it not Max Ego and the Ids?
Oh.
I'm upset that that's exactly what it's called.
That's a strong contender.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. I assume people will suggest it later.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Be sure to tweet at us with your suggestions and other great ideas.
I was gonna say you go do the thing where it's like, oh yeah, that's the name of my punk rock band every time. Yeah.
Also, you can find previous episodes of The Drop at happyjacks.org/thedrop, or episodes of all of the wacky shows we have here at happyjacks.org/shows, and you can find all of the myriad of things that are available there. So, by all means, help yourself. But not right now, in about 2.5 hours from now. So, last time we established a lot about our setting. A whole lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on. a lot of shaking going on. Just really anything you can imagine. So, I need to know, Joey,
Oh, yes.
what is I want to get character names right. Come on now, Max.
Table tents.
Yeah, nobody made them. What is Max's show this weekend? Right, I know you like try to get a lot of time off, and you're trying to be kind of, getting Max some freedom, but of course he has a lot of responsibilities.
Right.
The show must go on. He's got to be off script, and I did a violence.
Why do you gotta hit me where it hurts, Jason? Why you gotta hit me where it hurts?
So I'm picturing it's a Thursday. We're rehearsing.
Yeah.
You've got a show this weekend. It's probably Friday, Saturday, twice on Sunday. And partly that's because a particularly large ship has leapt out of jump space, out of the jump sphere, and but it landed a little further away than normal, so it's coming in. It's going to be here by Friday, and then in another like 20 or 30 hours. And there's probably a lot of people on there. So we're expecting a bit of a boost in towny tourism. What is the show primarily focused on, other than Max?
Right. Well, the show is, because it's a big, touristy ship, we want to get them acclimated with the history of the station. So it's very much in that vein of it's the story of a star that is dying, that basically implodes on itself and becomes a black hole.
Okay, not a metaphor at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's completely devoid of any real meaning. Let's go with that.
Sure.
Is it called A Star Is Dead rather than?
A Star Is Worn.
A star is exactly what I was thinking. A star is worn.
Out.
It starts early.
Early and often. Okay, so in the meantime, Balabanov,
It's not going to get old.
Never.
The Racing League is on hold this weekend. There was an accident last weekend, again, but it was from one of the new pilots. Again, this happens. Sad news: the pilot didn't make it, and
He should not have been racing.
it is actually one of the few times too. This happens less often than you might think, but the ship hit a little bit of something on the underside of the ring. Didn't run into anyone else, but his little flyer, winged part of the under surface of the ring, and spun out, and he was dead before he got there, but the ship went beyond the event horizon. And it's the atmosphere on the ring, metaphorically, is always a little. This isn't that rare a thing that somebody has fought. I mean, it's not every day or every week, but it's often enough. Like, this is not the first or fifth or 10th time it's happened, right? But it's still like a somber, right? It's like nobody's fault but the pilot. It's like, it's not a murder investigation. It's not anything. It's just like we live 50 kilometers from a black hole moment of like,
What Chet?
huh.
He seemed like a good guy, but he did not want to spend the time to learn the ring.
Yeah, indeed. So, the racing circuit is on hold, and you are no longer in the driving people around business. So, what are your plans for the weekend, and how are funds holding out? Now, we did some purchasing of things. How are your personal funds doing?
Sandra's personal funds are actually doing pretty well, at least for like a small slowdown for now. I think I ended, after all my purchasing, with 9,000 credits.
Oh, okay.
So enough to keep me,
Yeah.
Through a little bit of lean times while I get the business established, and in this case, not win any purses for a while.
I am just going to double check. Now, one thing I had said, one of the things that I actually kind of like for the most part in Traveller 2, I mean, Traveller's fine for what it is. And again, this wreckage of an RPG is not an indictment of Traveller as a system. It's an indictment of my inability to just take something as written and go with it. Traveller's fine, but it wasn't entirely my cup of tea. So I took the tea and made coffee out of it. And you know what you get? Something.
Chai.
Decisions.
Yeah.
Choices
Were made. And so anyway, one thing I do like from the original book, though, is they have a fairly consistent economy. And there's something in here about lifestyle costs that... I don't remember what section that was under.
While we're talking about buying things, while you're looking at that, should I be concerned I still have a lot of money left over after I bought things?
No, because you're going to need it.
Right.
What did you buy?
I bought, like, weird esoteric stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, a thing that I can put on my head that changes my hairstyle at will, an outfit coordinator, stun baton, pop-up HUD glasses.
Yep.
Practical items.
Practical things.
Absolutely.
I did go shopping. I wrote down how much money I have left. I left that notebook at home. So that's
Yeah. I did that
where we're at.
on a Google Drive because I knew I would
It's
do
all
that.
right. I forgot to go shopping.
Oh, gosh.
I only wanted two
So sorry.
things. Oh, and then I found like 5 things I wanted. But like,
Maybe it wasn't in the core book. Maybe it's in the... well, if any of our intrepid chatters remember where that is, that's fine. I don't need to establish that right now. But you have a personal residence on the ring, right? Mm-hmm. And Sat, you also have a smallish ship capable of small mining jobs and salvage and that kind of thing, which is going to require some amount of like maintenance and upkeep and whatnot. Everyone knows you can't have a meaningful campaign without complete maintenance records. So,
Correct.
It's true.
I believe that
That's a well-known fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my maintenance records for full taking care of everything on the ship without dipping into the area is I think it's about 600 credits a month.
Okay.
It's like between 5 and 6.
Sure. And recently, we had an adventure where the 4 of you nearly didn't make it back. How long ago did we want that to be? Is that a month ago? Is it last year? You all have been friends for a while. It's an odd sort of, the way you all met is the way we make friends sometimes. It's just, through this person, and then that person knows this person, and then we all sat down to play D&D, and,
I'm not mad at like 6 months ago because it feels like far enough away that we would consider going out again, but not so far away that it's not still in our brain.
Sure.
Right.
Yep.
I think 6 months is about right.
Okay.
yeah, that seems like a good amount of time.
Okay.
I would have gone a little shorter, but 6 is fine.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, 6 months I think is good for keeping it fresh. Also, all repairs are completed, and it worked out that about what you were able to bring back after being attacked out there was enough to cover your repairs and resupply, which, sucks. So that's something to be aware of. But you've got some of that. Keep going. Let's see. I'm just dying to know. Like, this is probably not interesting to anyone else at all, but I love knowing what characters, like what their place looks like, what their apartment or whatever it is. Where does Cece live?
Cece still lives with her family.
Okay.
They're in a small apartment above the garage.
Okay.
Okay. And she's probably like...
And this is a garage for like small flyers and
Right.
that kind of thing, right?
Right.
So it's not like a spaceship garage.
No,
yeah.
it's not massive like
Yeah.
that. And the apartment, I mean, I'm going to guess that they probably share it with another family.
Okay.
And have for like a generation
Oh,
or
sure.
two. Yeah.
So they're just close, and this is a thing that you
Yeah.
do. Yeah. Do a lot of folks in the Forge like live a little like kind of closer together than most people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
we're forced to because most of the space is taken up with garages and industrial stuff and whatever, and so they've kind of carved little apartments out of
Yeah, and I also
whatever
imagine
spaces they can.
a lot of the folks inclined to stay in the Forge are folks who are real excited about efficiency and you know, the amount of space taken, and you know.
Well, and you know, and why take up a whole bunch of space when you don't spend a lot of time there anyway?
Right.
You
You
pretty
just go
much
there to eat
meals and
and
sleep.
yeah.
And, yeah.
And then, you know, if you really want to have a good time, go around the ring to Tivoli and have a good weekend and then come back.
Yeah, or one of the local bars,
Yeah.
you know, or restaurants.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's food.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I like to think that in the Forge and maybe in the docks, I don't know, but that in the Forge there's like little illegal kitchens out of people's apartments.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and like, or little like street vendors of food, but none of it's licensed or
Yeah.
anything because there's
I
no
love
law.
that somebody's like used an angle grinder to like open a panel and they just like creak it open and put stilts out to hold it up, and
Yeah.
you've got little stall vendors and whatnot.
I love the idea, kind of, if you've ever been to Galaxy's Edge, they have that restaurant where they're grilling meat over one of the engines.
Thanks. I haven't been there yet, and you know that.
Well, I'm sorry. But for those of you out there who have, you know what I'm talking about. But they like have like a meat on the thing.
A rotisserie.
That thing, yeah. But it's over like an engine that's on.
Oh.
That's funny.
That's cute.
It's fantastic.
All right. Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
We'll allow it, but any more talk on that, I've got the mute button here.
Oh. Oh no. You can't mute the signal.
Let's
I
just
don't
make
have
sure we've got an
Disney
idea
money.
whether you've muted yourself or not. Okay. All right. Where does Irsa live?
I've honestly been racking my brain about it because I'm like, who? I think she has a place in Tivoli, obviously. I think it's very small. I'm not trying to lean into
Could I
the...
pitch something?
Yeah, please.
What if she's like comped a room? Like someone like the family comps her a
Yeah.
room, and she's like, this is good enough.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the vibe. It's like a small place. It's not humble. I'm trying so hard to avoid certain cliches. Like, it's not humble in a like pious way.
Yeah.
It's just not full of a ton. I mean, actually, no, it is full of a ton of stuff. If you remember Kaylee's like room in
the
Firefly,
yeah, the engine room, yeah.
no, not the engine room. Her actual bedroom, where she has like
Oh.
that. Like, why do I remember this stuff? It's like her actual space has like picked like scraps of ads and stuff that have like flowers on them. Anything that's got like something natural growing, because it's just rare. So she really likes color, and she really likes. She
And
likes pretty things.
And
You're
that's
allowed
true
to
for
like it.
Irsa, or are you talking about Kaylee still?
No, this is Irsa now.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
like Irsa likes pretty things and simple things, like pretty things and nice things. It's just like not something that she can run around in or
Yeah,
have.
yeah.
So like, there's definitely it's a small, tiny apartment with like, you know, scarves used as curtains and like the most garish bedspread you can find. That's probably super patchworked with other pieces of fabric,
yeah.
just fixing it.
I love it.
Yeah, little things like that. There's like a mobile made of like candy wrappers, but they're iridescent. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
Okay. Cool. I like that.
Do I get to do mine
Yes.
now that I'm not
Yeah.
typing and doing three
Yeah.
things?
Go for it.
So here's Satch's living situation. On station, he has like the micro efficiency where it is like the size of your outstretched arms,
Like
and that's
Fifth Element.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that. Like he can go in there, he can take a shower, he can sleep in there if he needed to.
Yeah.
But it really is not where he spends most of his time, which is on a cabin on the ship.
Okay.
But he'd rather not run the ship systems for things like showering and washing clothes
Right.
and doing all
And
that
you got to
sort
pay
of
the
stuff.
dock fee for power and water.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
Exactly. So he runs like his entertainment stuff there, but he goes and he does his necessaries at an efficiency.
Okay. Now his apartment is in the docks, though, right?
Yes.
So it's nearby.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the let's say, walk/run time from apartment to ship?
I'm going to say it's 10 minutes walking, so it's pretty close. But he could cover that in half that time if he was just full out sprinting, or maybe a little bit less. He doesn't like to be too far away from his ship. And I think, like you were saying, the drop also has a lot of little bistros, little food vendors and things like that they're popping out. But they are actually licensed, but not by the station.
No, by Marquis.
Yes. Yeah, they're licensed by the Marquis.
The Marquis.
Yeah. Okay, now, I hesitate to ask, but saving the most for last.
The most.
Joey, what is Max's situation?
Okay, so we've established that a lot of the buildings that are now permanent on the ring used to be these large ships, right, that have come to the station.
Yeah.
So I think he is basically living what we would kind of equivocate to like the penthouse at a hotel, but it's actually the captain's suite of an old cruise liner. That this hotel, casino, where Purgatory, the club that he works at, like it's all stationed in this old ship. So he's staying in the captain's suite, which is kind of not at the top, but like because it's a weird ship design, so in the middle, but jutting out, so it has kind of a full panoramic view.
Sure. Okay. So, thanks to Nick, we did find the standard of living cost.
Thanks, Nick.
The average
Yay.
thing. And it is sort of scaled to your social standing stat.
Oh, Lord.
So, somebody's feeling a little sweaty right now. And let's just go in reverse order, Max. What is your social standing stat?
First of all, I don't sweat. I listen.
Thank you.
Second, my social standing is 14.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I would like to note that going from social standing 12 is about 5,000 a month.
Cute.
Representing their, just the lifestyle to which one has become accustomed. Social standing 14 goes from 5,000 to 12,000 credits a month.
Cool.
So,
Cool.
we might want to be thinking about, obviously you're getting paid for the show.
Right.
You have a retainer. You are a resident entertainer in Tivoli. Do we have a name of your, primary club?
Yeah, it's Purgatory.
Oh, Purgatory. Yeah. We did have that. But you don't live in or above Purgatory, right? It's like a ship that.
Well, no. So the club itself is part of that giant cruise liner.
Okay.
It's like being like a resident artist living at the hotel you're performing in.
Okay.
Like a Celine Dion or a.
Does living above Purgatory make your place heaven?
Oh yeah.
I think it just makes it Earth.
Well, heaven is a place on Earth.
Oh boy.
Do you know what that's worth?
About 12,000 a month, apparently.
Brought it home.
Thank you for that, Michelle. Take a thread,
Oh, wrong game.
or is it?
Oh.
Now, Irsa, what is your social standing?
I'm at 7, which seems
Okay, so
neutral.
7 is about 1,500 a month, and I think what I want to go for here is, if you want to maintain where you're at, we can go with the thing that it says next to your social standing. If you want to try to front a little and you're trying to move up, Max, if you want to pay more,
Yeah. Sure.
the next one up is 20 grand a month.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Or if you're willing to potentially take a hit to social roles, you could go for the discount and, try to save some money. But it's hard to imagine somebody making a choice like that.
Oh, well, there's no choice.
You go to the smaller room.
What,
on.
like a plebeian?
Yeah.
Like a mortal?
Right. So, what is your kind of standing cash situation?
I can check real quick on my Google Doc.
Okay. I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Satch, what is your social standing?
My social standing is 5.
Okay. So, that puts you at about 1,000 a month.
Okay.
Plus what did you say for the ship? 600?
Yeah, so somewhere in that neighborhood,
Okay.
5 or 6.
Yeah, let's put that there, and then we'll mess with it if we need to. Unless you wanted to go up or down from your starting area there.
I think I'm pretty okay with where I am.
Okay, because you're your racing status, like people know who you are,
Oh, that's a good point.
but
we did talk about
But
that.
you can also be like kind of cantankerous or unapproachable, and like everyone knows who you are, but like no one wants to go talk to you because you like sometimes you've been a dick or what, like however you want to characterize it, right? Like, but your social standing is low. Which doesn't have to be a measure of like how good looking or charismatic or whatever. I kind of like that it's established as social standing. And in the game, even it knows that like high social standing should almost have a title of some kind. You know, like there's Duke and Baron and whatnot. And
Marquis?
Nope, that's not. It wasn't on the list. Weirdly enough, it does have. It's listed Rhombus here. That's a social standing
is Rhombus.
Yeah, it's 69. Wow, that's really high.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So if I do spend more on my abode, does that help raise my social standing, or how does that work?
If you, so what are you at now? 6?
5.
5.
It's my dump stat.
Right. So are you at? Does that give you a minus? Wait, I have the stats right in front of me.
Yes, -1.
Yeah. Okay. So if you wanted to get up to, I think 6 is the +0. Yeah. You could, and for folks listening along, that is something that has changed in this edition. So good luck following along at home. But for us, 6 is the next break point. So if you wanted to pay for social standing 6, we would have moments where you could move your -1 to a +0 and treat it like that.
Okay.
Like, it wouldn't be like permanently moved, but you would have the opportunity
To like flash some money
right.
and dress especially nice and do
right.
that sort of
Like if you can frame in the fiction how this person would know who you are, and you've been trying to put yourself out there a little bit, I'm open to that.
Okay.
And then if somebody really wants to spend a lot more than what their station would require, then we can talk about that as well. But do you have a sense of what you'd want to do with that?
I think where we are right now is that Satch's name is getting out there. He's started to attract some more attention, and so people in the racing leagues sort of know who he is, but he's still kind of like a dark horse.
Yeah.
And so he might be trying to like make the transition into being more known and being a more of a household name.
Okay.
But he might also just kind of want to keep it on the DL. So we'll see.
Okay. So you're going to put yourself down for the 6, or no?
And that will
That's
cost me how much?
1,200.
1,200.
Yeah.
Plus
It's
my
only-
600.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
only 200 more than what you were at before.
Yeah. Let's go in that direction.
Okay. Great. And Cece, it says here that you have a social standing of 8, which is still a +0, but is further up the line a little bit. And it's normally about 2,000 a month.
Okay.
But again, if you don't mind taking a hit to some of your social roles, we could work in the fact that you're in this, multi-family apartment, not just multi-family dwelling, but
Yeah.
like
Apartment.
a
Yeah.
multi-family apartment. We could bump that down a little bit, but then I may apply a minus here and there if it comes up, right, to a social role. But it's up to you. 2,000 implies you've got not just the apartment, but it's like you eat pretty well. You're well taken care of. You got the Forge healthcare plan.
I think if with 2,000, that's enough to like kind of help my parents out a little
yeah,
bit,
yeah,
and
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. So I think I'm going to stay there.
Okay, great. All right, does everyone feel like they have a handle on this part? Mm-hmm. Max.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. I actually did. I checked, and luckily, when we had my last, mustering roll or whatever, I rolled that 40K.
Okay.
So I had 90K to spend, and so far in equipment, I've only spent about 14K.
Yeah.
No, 4K. So I have 86K to go. So
Okay.
I've got a little bit in the bank to,
Yep.
and
Okay.
then hopefully,
A touch.
I mean,
We'll see.
yeah, but making money at the club and like endorsements and things of that nature, like.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to put that, rather than us roll for, like, how much you make at the club, whatever, I think this, like, the fact that where you're staying is only 12,000 is, like, part of what you're getting paid,
Okay.
right? And
Sure.
so a lot of this is the the partying and the schmoozing and the like the stuff that you're doing on your own to try to maintain this level of notoriety.
Yeah, I buy that.
So I just don't want to get so granular into, well, let's see, you did 2 shows on Sunday and then 1 Saturday, 1 Friday, and then the standard rate is like, I don't want to do that. So, but we can handle some of that if we want to look into it. But I'm going to jump over to Cece at the Forge on a Thursday. Does CC work regular hours, or is it like, ooh, there's a project, let's do the project. Project's done, let's get drunk, or I don't know. Like,
yeah, I think it's as projects come in.
Sure.
I mean, there's always something to do around the garage, but like we make our money off of projects.
Sure, yeah. I think there's been a little bit of a rush from, what did we say that the flyer crash was? Was that last week?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when the guy went into the eye. There's like a lineup of 3 flyers who want their ship like triple checked, right? So the family is doing like tune-ups and systems checks and hull integrity, and and there's like 2 more ships waiting to come in, and this is part of the reason why the racing league is delayed. But most of the racers want to come to your shop specifically. Like, your family's kind of known for doing this. There are lots of shops that they could go to, and like this one place at the docks, like if you're gonna, but just sort of take your life into your hands that way.
I mean, we throw in the undercoating for free, but
Sure.
Yeah.
It's that salt in the winter,
I know.
It's like it really gets in there.
So can I say that when someone spins out and heads into the ring, it's called moting?
Moting.
Because it's the eye.
Oh, the moat
They
in the
become
eye.
a moat in the eye.
Sure, yeah. Because also there's
and then we can say moded.
Yeah. and there is the idea that at the event horizon we may have an extended period of being able to see the debris because of the relativity of.
So we're reminded of it for a while.
Yeah. Because what happens is, because it's such a small black hole, the event horizon is very small, and the expansion of the gravity puts us like almost Earth normal gravity at 50 kilometers away. But the way it ramps up is like when you cross the event horizon, you are in a crushing black hole. Like, it's the increase of gravity is, I think, actually exponential. So, like, veering away from the racetrack is extremely dangerous. It's also why you guys get paid a lot of money to do it, etc. So, moding. I like that. You got moded.
Motorin.
Oh no, I liked it. I'm mad. Oh no. Damn it. Joey.
Yep.
Okay, so Cece, the family has a flyer in the bay, 2 more waiting to come in, but you've worked pretty much a full day at this point. I think the family has now, like, for right now, has staggered into like 24-hour, like, you and the other family are, there's enough of you that you can have
Right.
several people on shift, all 3 shifts, and it's like, hey, we're getting paid overtime, like, because you could charge through the nose for these like rush jobs and everything. Like, hey, this is great. We gotta work. But you're kind of at the end of a shift Thursday afternoon, like, I guess, if that's all right with you.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, Cece has a plethora of criminal contacts.
Yeah, like you do. Wait, you guys don't? I mean,
Yeah. So, as you are leaving work, maybe you're like going to grab a bite instead of heading right up. And I don't know if you want to go right up to the apartment as soon as possible. Like, what is Cece's kind of?
I think she's
habit?
probably hungry, and she's going to go to one of her favorite stalls and just hang out and shoot the breeze with people who are there.
Stretch the legs,
Yeah.
etc. Okay, so you are approached. So you get there, you get some food, kind of off to the side. I'm picturing like kind of when they get noodles in Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. I'm picturing like that kind of area, and you're kind of just in there. You know a fair amount of the people around you. It's in neighborhoods are small and it's the drop. So you are approached by a woman who you know has done some like illegal fuel deals. Well, illegal by like Rise Corp standards.
Right.
Like, so for the listener, I just flipped off the camera.
Rise.
Yep. Rise on this. You what is the chance? Is Cece the kind of person who remembers everyone's name? Or could it be like you remember you've spoken to this person before, but maybe don't place the name?
I think like she has kind of a frightening ability to remember names and
Ooh,
faces.
okay, I love that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you remember this woman is called Madeleine. And a lot of people don't get it and just call her Madeline, but that's not what she has called herself. Like, and she has done some very dangerous fuel deliveries, but is kind of like trying to get your attention, like trying to catch your eye from a little bit of a dark alley. You don't really understand like what she wants, but she's like wants you to come over and talk to her.
Okay, I'm sure whatever I'm eating is grabbable, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
grab it and take it with.
Portable. Yep. I like that. Okay, let's just for fun, so that we have not rolled dice yet, and I'm sure Cece would have an instinct of whether this is a trap or not. So I'm going to have you roll streetwise.
The inaugural roll.
Yeah.
Everyone listening or watching at home, this is the very first roll in
Yep.
this game.
It's going to set
Now-
the tone for the entire campaign.
Fuck
Pressure.
up.
in our Powered by the Traveller system, we are rolling 2d8 and using some of our bonuses here. And I'm going to call this an intellect roll for this. So your streetwise is 0, your intellect is +1, so you're going to roll 2d8 and add 1.
Okay.
And our range is, oh shoot, I think it's, oh dang it. I should have looked this up ahead of time. Where did it go? Oh, actually, I think it's in that same spreadsheet. The crunch. Yep. Okay. So the fail range is 2 to 8. The middle result is 9 to 12.
Okay.
And then the 13 plus is the wahoo. Now this is pod racing.
Try a barrel roll.
13, 14 with my +1.
Holy moly.
Wahoo.
Okay, that is a wahoo. So, right away you can tell she does not seem devious at all. She has been and can be.
Right.
But she actually just seems like really urgently wants to talk to you.
Okay.
So, head over there. Just picturing you just like, what? Yeah, come here.
What?
I gotta talk to you.
What's up?
She's like a, 50-something. Oh, like a Lucy Lou type,
Okay.
right? Like
Okay.
just a little more haggard, less of a phenomenal skincare routine than the actress, but she's gets your attention. Okay, so look, I've got this opportunity. I can't go after it myself, but I know you have a ship, and she's wrong. Okay, but like, I know you have a ship, and if I give you this, you just all I want is 15%, and you can get the rest of it. But like, this is you're not going to believe when I show you the data.
I don't know. I mean, last time we were shown data on something, it didn't end very well.
Okay, well, look, I can't just show you the data without a deal. And I know you'll honor a deal if we make a deal, but I mean, this is time sensitive.
But I can't make a deal going in blind. You know that. Come on, only an idiot does that.
Okay, so look, there's a salvage. Okay, salvage, very valuable ship by all accounts. It's adrift and nobody else has detected it yet. I was on a run. I picked up what I thought, turned some sensors around. Nobody else is looking there. It's in kind of a weird spot, and it's a little ways out there. I can't get out there. But all I want is a finder's fee. I don't even want to know what's in there. You just come back and tell me how much money you made.
I got to talk to some people before I can make a deal.
Okay.
You know this isn't something I can do by myself.
Okay, but it's only a matter of time till someone else sees that salvage.
But give me like an hour.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna be down at, and she like mentions a bar on the corner.
Okay.
Flanagan's.
Is it a chain?
Yep.
God.
Yep.
Every town's got a Flanagan.
Yep. There's an Irish bar in the.
There's one in every
In the
part
forge.
of the ring.
And
Yes.
I don't care what century it is. As soon as you walk in, they start playing Brown Eyed Girl for
Yep.
some
Yeah.
reason.
Uh-huh. Literally every pub I went to in my trip to Ireland, Brown Eyed Girl.
Oh, yeah.
Every single
single
one.
Is that an exaggeration?
No.
No.
Literally and
No.
multiple times when there were like live music playing, whenever I was there, the live group did a cover of Brown Eyed Girl.
Yep. Every Irish pub here, every Irish pub in Ireland, because
I
I've
did
been to
not know
Ireland.
this.
Yeah. You will hear Brown Eyed Girl in every single pub.
Huh. Okay.
Now that
Well,
we
yeah.
know it's traditional
It
Irish
is.
fare.
It's let's say Flanagan's is an Irish Irish themed karaoke bar.
Ooh.
Yep.
That hurt me in a weird place.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm
can
aimed for
imagine.
maximum damage here.
Wow.
Yep.
I get the feeling like Whiskey in the Jar is the Don't Stop Believin' of this.
For sure.
It's bog.
It's bog. It's totally
Oh
bog.
yeah. All of those.
Oh, wow.
Various
Wow.
sea shanties and whatnot.
That's real specific.
But yeah, she takes off. You also know, like, a fair number of people know who she is, and they're like looking at you, like kind of having just come out of a meeting with her, and like you're kind of getting, you don't know what they're thinking, but like a few people have noticed this meeting. It's not causing a stir, but you get some eyes, and then everyone's like back to what they were doing.
I try and play it cool and just keep eating my
Sure.
food
Yeah.
and walking, but I'm going to search for Satch.
Yep.
I'm going to go find him first because he's
Yeah.
probably going to be the easiest one to find right now.
What was the surname again? It's not gonna do it.
I can't believe we've already gotten to the say it.
Really? You can't believe it?
Well, yeah, that's true. I know me.
And me?
It's Balabinov.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you can message him, call him,
Okay.
whatever.
Okay, yeah, I'm assuming we have some sort of messaging thing, so
Sure.
I'll message actually
Yeah,
the group.
you
We're
have
on a
the
group chat.
text, and you have the group text without Max.
I'll just tell him what we say, but like,
bing, 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 bing.
That one's on mute,
I say,
and it's full of Max memes.
it's oh no.
I would just like to point out, America, this is the second game that I am playing with Jason where there is a group text without my character in it.
For those of you in the rest of the world, that's also true.
Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so yeah, you text the group.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I don't give any details, but I say possible job, meet up at Flanagan's or wherever. Meet up at,
Sure, you can do
at
Flanagan's.
Flanagan's. We need to talk.
Okay. So, Satch, where are you coming off of right now? Were you like watching a movie in your ship? Were you getting cleaned up? It's like kind of late afternoon at this point, 4 or 5 p.m.
You were asking a question off stream about
Was I?
about downtime activities, and I don't know if you asked everybody, so I'm not sure if you want to use this as a surprise or anything.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I thought this would
let's,
be
no,
shelve
not-
that.
Yeah,
okay,
not yet.
fantastic.
Yes. Whew,
Yes,
I remember just in time.
I was trying to be real.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, we had an offline conversation about that.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
So yes, a movie. He's probably got his feet up. He's just relaxing.
Okay.
he's half watching a movie, which is a historical reenactment drama of the first royalty that came from Earth that was, and sort of began to spread out through the galaxy and their trials and tribulations. And it is heavily fictionalized, but
Yep.
it's based on a true story.
Well, I'm sure, because we had, so eventually, and I don't know how much we've talked about this in detail, but humanity's ships can manage about like a 10% light speed average of a trip, right? So they get up a little bit over that, but then they have to flip and slow down, right? So also that makes it real easy to calculate how long it takes to go places. If it's 4.5 light years to Alpha Centauri, it takes about 45 years to get there in humanity's ships. And that first interstellar to a different star system? Yeah, interstellar. Yeah, stellar star. That first trip was to Alpha Centauri. It is the closest star system to Earth system. And Alpha Centauri is where we found our first jump sphere. So that first colony ship slept for like 40 years to get out there. And but yeah, it was a whole expedition, and they started exploring and essentially got to claim that first sphere, and certainly became something like royalty.
First try.
Yeah, first try. So that's worth noting.
So yes, it's the rise of that family,
Yes.
and they spend a lot more time out of Cold Sleep in the historical reenactment than they actually did.
Yeah. There's a lot of like just episodes and episodes of them running around the ship and doing stuff, and the drama, and and then so and so slapped the other one, and like, oh my gosh. Actually, I would watch the hell out of that show.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
It's like the reign of Rise.
Yeah. I'm trying to be funny, like I wouldn't, but I 100% would watch every moment of that. Okay, so you get this message to meet at Flanagan's. Max, you're coming out of the like half tech.
Yeah.
They did like the basic makeup, the bit of the costume, and some of the like effects that are going to happen. And you're supposed to have like a full tech rehearsal tonight, but it's 4:00. It's time for break. You should have. You wouldn't come back for another rehearsal till like after dinner rush nonsense. So the next rehearsal's like at 9 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you get you're dismissed from the stage to go and do whatever it is you're going to do, and you get this notice about Cece going to Flanagan's.
I send a message back. Please tell me it's the good Flanagan's.
There are 4. There are 4 Flanagans.
I say, it's the Forge Flanagans. I say,
It's musical Flanagan's.
Oh, is this the only karaoke Flanagans?
yeah.
Yeah, maybe they each have a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out. We'll find out what they are.
I love that.
Karaoke
So-
is the first one.
Max
Gotta
sends
catch 'em
a
all.
gif of himself,
Yeah, he does.
Of course.
I love
completely disappointed.
I sent back some sort of gift that's like, suck it up, Buttercup.
it. Yeah, this is going exactly as I wanted it to.
I'll be there in 30. I have to fix my face.
And I say, make it 15. We're on a time limit.
Okay, so Irsa, you're seeing these messages as well.
Yeah, like the back of the house that Max is in, definitely just half on their phone.
Yeah,
half on
like
her phone,
feet
half
up
like-
on the chairs,
Yeah.
like on the other row of chairs.
Yeah,
and,
I can probably do the show as well at this
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
like the way that Tex do it.
yeah. Is
They know all the
Irsa like
lines.
secretly a really good singer?
Probably. I never give much thought.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love when we find out the like hard ass is like, oh my god, you sing opera? What?
Yeah, I think she actually is a decent singer. It's just not something she cared about, but like she can at this point do Max Ego's show
Sure.
probably
Now,
and every show previously.
I mean, Max doesn't really sing in the shows for the most part,
He
right?
does, but it's not like
The main
singing.
thing. Yeah,
It's again, it's a whole vibe.
Yeah.
But she knows every line.
Yeah, I
and
know every line. I know all the
choreography.
canned jokes and all the planted hecklers to make
Oh yeah.
Max look cooler when
Yep.
he can slap him down and stuff.
Sure,
right?
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what is Yrsa's?
I mean, if Max is going, I have to go anyway. But also, like, didn't we just almost die?
Well, 6 months ago.
You know what? That's fine. We all of us individually have probably almost died in that time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Between them.
For sure. It's a dangerous place to live here. You've had several races.
Oh, yeah.
It's just this last one where someone died. Lots of people get injured. Like, that's an every week thing. It's just most of the time we can, like, snag them before they go beyond the point of no return.
Right, the ejection
Yeah.
system works, right?
Yeah, it's... Oh, maybe that's what it was. He was, like, pointed the wrong way and panicked and hit it and ejected into the black hole. Oh, that's so dark.
So sad. Sabotage. But yeah, no, I think you just get it in the group chat. It just says there's a couple, like the little dots when someone's writing, and then they stop, and then they start again,
Yep.
and then they stop, and then you just say, I kind of like that Flanagan's. That's all.
All right. Cool.
Satcha's contribution to the text chain is like a star emoji, and that's it.
Good. Let's go.
Yeah. Not like a GIF or anything.
Not
just
even a
like
thumbs up, just a
single
star.
emoji.
Just like a star, so...
Yeah.
What does it mean? It's like getting a fried shrimp. You're like, was this? Is this code?
It's probably... No one knows.
Well, if we see him, we see him.
Okay. Satch, you come out of your ship, and you can see the docks are just bristling, like they brought in extra workers. We know that this big ship that has just jumped into system, reminder, we don't have jump drives, they just went through a jump sphere, which they do just like appear out of nowhere, but because they sort of went through a celestial slingshot, like got pretty close.
Right.
But they're not going to be able to park the ship. It's like probably 100 colonists in there, but they're going to have to bring in ship's boats, like probably 6 or 7 of them. So the docks are just in a flurry to do that. And
I imagine we have like sections of space that are the most often,
yeah,
ported to, that are just sort of like no-fly zones, or, in my head, I imagine that that's sort of like a kid with a new ship sort of thing, to dare to go into the area where a ship might jump into.
yeah. Okay, now Satch is from the docks originally, right?
Yep.
Okay, so he grew up here. So he's not. That's off limits for a mark, as in they wouldn't make Satch a mark.
Right.
Okay, so you actually you receive a message as you're exiting. No one's like standing here to talk to you, but you get a message that like, hey, we need to charge surge pricing on these berths, like including where your ship is, and they're giving you the opportunity, like they're going to give you like $1,000 to move your ship,
Okay.
or they're going to have to charge you the surge pricing, whereas anyone else they would have just charged them. So, you have like, you need to move it by tonight, basically, because the other ships will be in by tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So, you got like 6 or 8 hours to move it, something like that.
Cool. They just put the signs up that said no parking on this side of the street for
Yeah,
for
and they messaged you.
right. Out of courtesy.
Yeah.
Because I pay my dues.
Yep. Yeah.
Are you listening, City of Los Angeles?
Yes. Okay. So
So I just want to make it clear. I also make sure that my ship is locked down and
yeah.
tight and the whole thing.
I
I
would
don't want
assume.
to be like, oh, you didn't say.
like we said, you're from here.
Yeah. And as customary, I pay like one of the other drop rats.
Yeah.
Like one of the kid gangs
Yeah.
that hang out here to just keep an eye out.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
I love that there are like little urchin gangs running around.
Oh, for sure.
Of course.
For some reason.
Yeah, you all were that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, well, to varying degrees, right?
Levels of unsupervised children running
Yeah.
around, like
Yep.
in packs.
Yep.
Yep.
Like
I'm
wolves.
always here for the Keynesian orphans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like sci-fi, space, cyberpunk orphans.
Yeah, I'm
It's
here for
like,
this.
yeah.
Oh yeah, your mother wears combat boots.
Yeah.
They all sound like Kumo now. They all sound like Kumo from Disco Elysium. No one ever plays that.
I
It's
got
fine.
nothing. Sorry.
Ignore me.
It's a,
I picture like the Bowery Boys or something
Right.
like that.
They're telling you mama jokes, but they're all about spacesuits and stuff. Like,
Your mama's spacesuit's so old. All right, so we'll skip to Flanagan's.
Yeah.
And-
I'll just walk there, but yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Are you
Well.
Max?
Max is 5 minutes late. He is wearing his HUD glasses to mask the fact that he's not fully faced.
Okay.
And is definitely doing a bit of the Thor Ragnarok with like hood up, doing one of these like no one's gonna recognize you like this.
Oh, right.
Trying to
Bruce,
look
yeah.
inconspicuous,
Right.
and in the forge, that's terribly conspicuous.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pictures, please.
Yeah. Well, I imagine too, with like a good HUD, you could obscure your face somewhat.
Yeah.
And to some extent, to the casual viewer, they're not going to recognize
it's not my first time doing this, so I know it has worked in the past. It doesn't always work, but
Sure.
it sometimes does work.
But the gal who runs this Flanagan's, she's got to be. Y'all watch Ted Lasso?
Not yet, but
Okay,
soon.
the lady who runs the bar in that is the I gotta look up her name, but just very British sounding. She's not even Irish. Like it's just, here we are.
I don't know what century it is, but what is Irish anymore?
Well,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
for pretty much any kind of like designated, we're hundreds of years away from Earth at this point. So and certainly everyone has their family culture and all that stuff is going to persist, and people want to keep that stuff alive, of course. But what does it mean that your family is from Portugal?
Right.
At this point.
Yeah.
I picture it a lot like Blade Runner, where it like the language has become a mix of languages,
yeah.
and and it's just people have developed their own cultures,
Yeah.
or starting to at
Yeah,
least.
for sure. And those old languages are around, but like what you speak with your friends is not the same as like talking to your grandparents or whatever, right? It's still, I mean, even your grandparents are hundreds of years away from Earth, so
The fact that she's even that close in geographical area
Yeah.
is like
Astounding.
dead
really.
on.
Like,
yeah.
that's why you run this place.
Or
Got
she
it.
has a fake accent,
Or it's a fake accent,
Yeah.
which I don't judge.
and she has never broken character in front of you, but she knows who you are
Yeah.
because you've been here a bunch with your
Sure.
friends, but she's also, let's say, cool. She doesn't bust your chops.
She's not a regular bartender. She's a cool bartender.
Yeah. Is Max a good tipper?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then
Absolutely.
That's the situation we're talking about here. Max knows what's up. What has happened? Did I phrase that poorly?
You know who else was a good tipper? Or who else was a cool bartender? And I'm turning the seat around. Just have the.
I'm completely missing a.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'll be fine.
anyway, so with Max and Irsa running late, it's 20 minutes into the hour that you promised Madeleine. You get a corner booth. Drinks are ordered. You're all in this bar.
So what is the big hurry?
Well, I told my contact that I would get back to her in an hour. So here's the deal. There's a salvage job. Nobody's caught on to it yet. It's kind of off the beaten path. Apparently very lucrative, but my contact can't get to it. She has all the data. All she wants is a finder's fee. She doesn't even want to know what's on the ship. But so it's a salvage operation, but we need to get there before anyone else figures out it's there. We're not exploding anything. I mean, salvage is just a tow.
This is something we could do.
Well, so was the last job.
She didn't give us any other information on what kind of ship it was, or...
No. That's as much as I could get out of her, without making a deal.
So there is more information once we make a
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
How far out is it again? Do we even know have that
No, I think she said
information?
it's like pretty far out, which is why no one else has detected
Yeah,
it yet.
it's
Okay.
kind of far out.
And she kind of found it by accident. So,
Well, I've got a show opening tomorrow night, so I'd like to be back before then. Thank you very much. How are we looking?
I think distance with his ship, it's probably like 10 hours each way.
Okay.
And it's not likely anything's going to go wrong. It's a simple
Oh,
pickup.
yeah.
So,
You could make it.
I mean, do you have an understudy just in case?
It's opening night. There is no understudy for opening night.
I mean, there definitely is, but okay. That's what he said.
Like, cause she's not gonna know about how
for
touchy
sure.
he'd be about an understudy.
You would
That
miss
seems-
last tech, though.
Oh, well, I have a plan for that.
Okay.
It would be the first last tech I missed.
Uh-huh. I'm aware.
I mean, if I'm curious, I will admit I'm curious about it, and obviously, is your ship up and running, Satch?
Oh yes, the Brosnia is ready at any moment.
Okay, well, we did all almost die. Just want to throw that out there.
But a lot of that was we hucked a rock. I'm not gonna lie. There's no rocks to huck here.
Okay. If everyone's down, I'm down.
The last time we went out, it was bad, which means this one will be good.
That is definitely how
That's
statistics
how
work.
it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not that bright, and I know this. That's definitely how statistics work. Let's go.
It can't be more dangerous than the race.
True.
Is that the yardstick we're using?
Yeah, I was gonna say you just get the loudest blink from your son.
Do you have another yardstick? It is more dangerous than opening night. But
haven't seen
maybe
the pyro
on
we're
par with the fight.
I cannot punch a vacuum. Just throwing that out there. Cannot punch the vacuum of space. Tried, failed.
You can. It's just
It punches harder.
not very effective.
It is not. I mean, if you can make it back on time, and you have a plan for tech, I'm not mad at the idea of going.
I can miss tech. They don't need me for tech. It's mostly for the tech. I would just be there bringing my own brand of charisma to the strenuous, long, agonizing moments of tech rehearsal, which they don't need me there necessarily.
I'm sorry I zoned out while you were saying that. So you're good?
So did I.
25 hours is good for you?
Yes, we can make this work.
Get the rest of the information.
Okay. Well, she'll be here in now.
Yep. Hey, well, amazing. We come back from commercial and Madeline's there. Okay, so Madeline comes in. She is in kind of like a lot of like drapey sort of cloak, hood, like very flowy clothes.
Any Star Wars character trying to avoid
Yes,
notice?
yes, yeah,
She
for
doesn't
sure.
look shady at
For
all.
sure.
Oh, it's going full Stevie Nicks.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, that's kind
Star
of what's
Wars
more.
Stevie Nicks.
Okay.
There you
Star
go.
Wars
yeah.
Stevie Nicks.
Yeah. Stevie Wars? No, that's not.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it too, but
Well, anyway, yes, we all have the right idea in mind. And is very inconspicuous for it.
Amateur.
But
amateur.
but I'm picturing you all in a like kind of you could probably fit 4 or 5 people in the booth, but you've all got some elbow room, and so when she shows up, she just grabs a chair from another table and sits at the edge of the booth. She says, "Okay, so this is everyone."
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 15%, and we're good to go.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Now I'm trusting you. Okay? Don't cut me out of this. I'll know.
We're trusting you.
Look, all I got are coordinates and some kind of bizarre readings. It's far enough out that I can't really, like, I
How
can't get better readings.
bizarre.
Well, it's just some of it. It's a ship. Okay, there's a ship out there.
You sure it's a derelict?
Yeah. It's dead in the water.
Okay.
But I'll let you be the judge of that. You get a little ways out, your sensors will be able to get more information. There's a lot of noise here. So, look, I got what I got. I found it mainly by accident. So, I'll give you the telemetry and everything I've got. I just need your word that you're going to cut me in for whatever comes back, and we're good. Yeah?
We are of our word, yes.
Yeah.
All right.
If we get out there and find that it's not worth anything, you're okay with getting 15% of 0, correct?
Well, that's what I've got now.
All right.
But I mean, I'm not going to cover your fuel or whatever. Like, that's your risk.
We get that.
Okay, cool.
It's fair.
So, who should I transfer this to? She's got her little handheld device, and
I'm the astrogator, so
oh yeah, okay,
I keep thinking of like
yeah. So
I love that.
Astrogator.
Wow, that would be great nose art on a
Yeah.
on a spaceship.
the
Yep.
big astrogator.
See you later, Astrogator.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling any gator from Houston.
Yep.
An astrogator.
I love it now.
Okay. So yeah, she even sets it up as like it's not even like a wireless transfer. She like does the touch transfer from device to device because she doesn't want to risk any kind of like
Right.
broadcast. She like looks visibly nervous, and has probably not told you the whole story.
Is there
yeah.
an insight check in this
Sure.
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. So that, all right.
Well, I was looking like I don't see an insight. I don't even see like an
I mean,
investigation.
there's investigate.
No, we've
Oh,
got
there's
investigate.
investigate.
Is there an
Investigate is
intimidate? Can I use that?
investigate is kind
streetwise?
of like check a scene. Streetwise, I think would be my first choice.
Yeah, I can do a
for
streetwise.
insight.
I would love to do a streetwise.
Yes, that seems reasonable.
What's your streetwise at?
A 1.
Or
Okay, you're better
deception.
than
You know, it takes one to know one. Kind of
Yeah.
a. Yeah.
I can do either one. Both are at a 1 for me.
Okay. I would probably do. Let's call it streetwise. It
Streetwise?
feels like a streetwise.
Okay. And what stat am I doing?
That would be.
We did intellect before.
Yeah, it's gonna it'll switch sometimes, like depending on what you're, because you were checking to see if it was dangerous, and you're trying to
Right.
see if she's lying to you, which is requires some amount of social skill. So I actually think I'm gonna let you add your social studies.
Ah.
Oh, and I'm gonna roll as well.
What
Bad
is
guys
it?
roll in this, powered by the Traveler.
Yep.
7. That's 14.
Ooh, I like-
That's a
like
17.
that one.
Oh, that's
Oh.
actually too high.
Oh, I
yeah,
see.
you've gone around to 1.
Also, I rolled doubles, so I get a thread.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, mark down your thread.
11, because I have +1, -1.
Okay, great. You've both covered it. She did not roll very well. I mean, an 8 is okay, right? But it is that's in the fail state. You know, it doesn't make sense for me to roll dice if we have this range, the PBTA style range. Okay, never mind. Bad guys don't roll dice. Hey, we're experimenting.
Every day we're learning.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Unless there's a situation where they need to, and then they will.
We'll see. Okay, so the two of you know that she's not like sending you to a trap, and particularly, so you've got the 11, right, Satch? So Satch, you know she's hiding something, right, for sure, but you're not 100% sure whether it's like, is this really to my detriment? Is she just real fucking nervous? You know.
It's not as good as she's saying, or maybe it's not as well hidden as she's saying, but I don't know.
Yeah, like
Okay.
something isn't totally as said. Max, you've got that there is like a significant piece of this information that she's left out. It's still, you're certain she is not sending you to a trap, right? Like that is not the vibe. The nervous vibe is like she kind of knows more than she definitely knows more than she's letting on. and she is in a like she really wants you guys to go out there really quickly because it may even be more valuable than she thinks. I mean, it's not you don't have mind reading, right? It's hard to imagine anyone having a skill like that in a game like this.
No,
but
that'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that massive success on seeing through her is like, yeah, she's holding back like significant information, but you're also 100% sure she's not like tricking you in that way,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Look. If this is gonna work, we need to be completely honest with each other. So if there's anything you're not telling us and we find out later, it's gonna be bad news for everybody involved.
Oh, hold on. What the fuck just happened? Okay. I'm fine.
Acting!
Yes. I love it.
I think Satch, although initially surprised, is going to crack his knuckles with that pronouncement.
Okay, so we want to get a little bit of a...
Cute.
Joey, I'm going to call this a persuade.
Yeah.
Right? This is a type of persuasion. But I'm actually going to add your... Like, I think for her to be intimidated by your social standing, she would have to know who
I
you
am.
are.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have you add your strength bonus
Okay,
instead.
that's a plus
but
one.
you know what? Max does pull-ups.
Yeah, he does.
He's a performer.
He's fit.
Yeah. Mad fit.
Okay, that is a 12, 13,
Jesus
14.
Christ. Okay.
Nice.
Now, that is already a success, but do you want to roll like an assist or... It can't like
Can it hurt?
accomplish anything numerically. Oh, actually, yeah. If you get like a 2 to 8, then yes,
Right.
it could.
The problem is, I feel if I say no, that it's kind of metagaming here because I saw what the roll was, and I was trying to do a move that assisted.
Yeah, I respect that. However, we normally pick an assist roll after someone rolls anyway. So I think it's fine to say, yeah, Satch kind of leans in, but then you realize
Okay,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like
He's got
100%
it.
focused on him. Like you would have to get her attention, like, hey, look at me crack my knuckles. She's like, what?
You would have done it anyway. I just like the idea of you cracking your knuckles
Yes,
I
next
think,
to
I
me.
you
think
did
I'm
do the
helping,
thing.
but like she didn't like pay
Yeah, it's just
attention at
nothing
all.
happened.
Doesn't
She's
look.
like, what? Okay, what?
You're so excited.
Okay, sorry, I was really lost in Max's voice there for
Yeah.
a moment.
I'm lost.
Can I get the one sheet of what
Yeah,
you just said?
basically saying this is only going to work if we really trust each other. So if there's anything you're not telling us, it's going to be bad all around. So let's just be open and honest. All cards on the table.
Okay.
We're your friends.
Do you all have subvocals?
No,
Okay.
that was dumb.
I mean, I can. I have money to spend. I
yeah.
can have a
I mean, you
subvocal.
probably have like maybe possibly even like an implanted throat mic.
Yeah.
Which could connect to your comm or the stage system.
Right.
That's definitely never been left on when it shouldn't have.
That sound person no longer works. Anywhere.
I guess I could, considering I have so many criminal
Yeah,
contacts.
and you work with your hands all day, and you
Yeah.
would need to answer a call or just talk about the job or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's noisy, and you've got headphones on or whatever.
I don't
Right,
wanna
and
get
we've
punched
talked
in the
about that
head
I
with
do.
tech in
Yeah.
it. I just don't want to get punched in the head when I've got tech in there. Seems like
Well,
a bad
it could
idea.
even be like a really high quality sticker.
Yeah, I
right?
might
Like,
do that.
yeah.
I'll see if I have the credits for it. I'm sure I do.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have a lot
It's
of-
just a choice. Like you
Yeah.
certainly have the money. It's not expensive. It's,
Yeah. Oh no, I remember how much it cost. I just
Yeah.
don't know how much I have anymore.
Sure. I'm fine calling that.
Yeah.
All right. So she like puts her device on the table, and you're all kind of supposed to put your devices near each other, and she's going to set up a little like subvocal channel to talk about this. Subvocalizing, for folks listening, if you don't know, you can basically mouth the words and put just like breath into the and it will translate to the subvocal mic. But you do kind of have to talk a little bit. So there's a tiny risk of somebody like like record, like video recording you, and then putting it through a lip sync reader, and hopefully it turns into something better than "Get Away from Me, Seagulls."
We would probably be talking like this anyway.
Yeah. You'd be.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm like this the entire time anyway, so.
And because now you hear each other in your earpiece, not like because your voice has traveled the distance. So yeah, you could do this and cover your mouth, sub-vocalize, certainly. So, I'm not going to whisper because that doesn't translate to recordings very well. Mm-hmm. But she is whispering, and she says,
"In your mind's ear, we're all whispering."
Right. So anybody who has a HUD or like a screen or something that is not sitting here for everyone to see, right? Whatever device you have to observe, she points out the telemetry data that she pulled and like kind of zooms in on something with her fingers. She's just kind of like lining up something, and what she has is a ship name that should be like 500 years old. Ooh. But that is impossible, right? Like even ships from the original like colony that went to Alpha Centauri, those ships are in a museum, right? Like they wouldn't be real functional anymore. It's not the the Firefly type thing where ships are just like run into the ground. Like even cheap ships are relatively new. It's just not that expensive to make them.
Can I float a ship name?
Yes.
The Gopher Broke?
Yeah, the Gopher Broke.
I have to ask because it's in my head. Is it Gopher?
Oh no, I wasn't making a joke there.
I know.
Go for broke.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Let's not pun that one.
Yeah.
Oh, now you don't want a pun.
You know I don't care for puns.
You are the mirror, Jason.
Hence the goatee.
I'm having a day. It's fine.
Well, then you've got to start with Jason in the mirror.
Yep. So I don't think the go for broke is immediately like. Well, actually, you were just watching a. God damn it.
A historical drama.
Oh, shit. I love when flavor text becomes text.
Serendipity.
I actually did not.
Why do you think I have the name?
I did not think about that until just now. I have notes about this like derelict ship plot idea, and that's so funny. I fucking love these games.
It's like when your tarot deck reads you.
Yeah. Or your Decima deck.
Your Decima deck comes for you.
Yep. Fucking Decima. It's too good. I'm angry about it.
Right?
Yeah, Nick, I'm going to have you do like an intelligence plus something. Intellect plus, or possibly education. Oh, they're both +0 for you. So,
Yep.
Let's go
Can I-
athletics. No.
Can I float piloting by you because this would be history?
No,
Okay.
that's too much of a stretch.
Gotta shoot my shot.
Yeah, no, I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, where there's no history.
Oh, steward.
Well, that's.
Okay.
What's your steward's at a 1?
Yeah.
I'll give you. I'll alleviate the -3 for not having a skill. We also don't have like a history skill or whatever.
Right.
I think this would be under like a science or knowledge type, like profession. Like if you're a professor of history or something, like that would be an easy dunk. But you literally were just watching. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm going to show you my notes later.
I love this.
In a couple episodes when we're done with this. Shocker, it's not a quick deal. What?
Huh?
Sorry, was that a
God,
spoiler?
I hate being spoiled.
It's 20
We'll
hours.
be 25.
I mean, you might be back in 20.
You should be fine.
It takes time to set up
Do you know
cables.
how long it takes to do 25 hours of in-game time at a table?
Yeah, only about 15
We
minutes.
should be done by December.
Yeah.
No. Fights take a long time. Anything else is 5 minutes. You fly out there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm taking psychic damage tonight. It's fine.
All right, so we're just gonna roll flat 0.
Okay.
You get what you get on the dice.
Fair enough.
Because it's obscure enough, but you literally were just watching something where this name could have come up.
That's a 9.
That is the minimum you can get to call it a shitty success.
Yep.
Bare
Wow.
minimum. Yay!
Default.
Default.
Catchphrase. Okay. So, you're having this conversation. She says, "Look, it's a go for broke. It's impossible because it's, the registry says it's super old. I don't know why its transponder would say that. The transponder is very weak, but it will be just a matter of time until it sort of filters through all the noise around the station. But she had picked it up because she was she was moving some fuel around the ring, like outside of the normal where we move things, because 1, it could explode, and 2, it was not purchased through the regular channels. That's okay. That's her job. That's what she does.
She spray paints out Rise Corp
Yeah.
on the containers.
Yeah.
No, she adds an A in front of it, so it's
Arise.
Arise.
Yeah. No, this is the off-brand.
This is the fuel we have at home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so
To use a science term, I think that what's happening is she's outside of the not epileptic. The
Ellipses.
thank you. I can't think of the word now, but she's in the albedo. Like if everything goes around this way, she's
yes.
come around. This way.
Not albedo. It's the aphelion. No,
Yes.
aphelion is like the extent of an orbit. It's like the well, anyway.
We'll
yeah.
fix it in post.
Yeah, I get it. Yep. Okay, good. So anyway, the thing that we all just said correctly is what she was doing. The name "Go for Broke," definitely came up in the dramatized historical document you were just watching, and
it was a big point that it went missing.
yes. Yeah. But I'm not gonna just give you more detail.
No.
You
I
got
know.
a 9, so
I'm just I'm fleshing out the world here
Yep.
and asking if that was okay.
Yep. No, that's exactly it. So you can't remember exactly what was happening. You're just like, wait, that was definitely the ship they talked about in the thing. But it came up for like 5 minutes because no one got slapped, So it was like kind of
Don't mention
just a
that ship
throwaway.
again.
Yeah.
Right. It was on the newspaper. Go
Yeah.
for broke, lost in space.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
someone looked over.
Yeah.
Establishing the time period they're in.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
No, it's it was the conversation they were having during the sex scene, like to make sure that they could get the plot in there, so
Yeah.
it's necessary. Yeah.
Yep. Totally.
Because you always talk about missing ships.
Yeah, it's in my head. This is somewhere between Game of Thrones and Riverdale.
I need that.
I'm glad I established clearly the vibe. Okay, so do you have a open reaction to this at this point, or are you kind of just like the gears are turning?
Satch's eyes open very wide, and his mouth opens for a moment, but then he clamps it down.
Okay. I think that's a pretty obvious reaction. Any
How you doing?
I know if he clamped it down, he doesn't want to say it in front of her, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to say a word.
Okay. She kind of gives you a weird look too of like, maybe you've heard of it. She obviously has looked it up and went that's can't be right. That's nonsense. So
I thought you were telling Tall Tale or something like that. It was.
well, look.
But if that's what it says, we should.
Telemetry's there. You should be able to calculate where it's going to end up. It is kind of headed towards some of the rocks, but that's another reason people might detect it is the rock hoppers might be out there. So but there's got to be something good on there. It's a decent sized ship. So that's what I can tell you.
Okay.
I just
So I look around to everybody and nod, to get the assent.
Sure. I hate tech anyway.
They're nice. They're nice people.
No, I don't hate the techs.
No,
I just
get
hate
that.
tech.
I get that, but it's part of the job.
Sure.
Yeah. so I'll offer like the data pad for the contract that is nebulous on what the item is, but that we owe her 15%.
Yep. Yeah, because there's no way to really estimate what's on there and how much it's worth and whatever, which is why she's willing to kind of, like, 15% is a little high. Probably could have talked her down, but, like, here we are.
Even if it's just scrap, it's going to be a lot of money or credits.
Yeah, certainly. So, space bucks.
Space bucks.
I don't know.
Starbucks.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think that's taken.
No.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. I can't.
Yeah.
I wonder why no one's done
Kind of
that.
good, yeah.
It really wakes me up in the morning.
Well, see, I was doing Battlestar.
Oh, yeah.
It works on many levels.
That too. Okay, so
It's like an onion.
do we have any other questions for Madeline while she's here?
I don't think so.
How? Pardon, I am not the. I do not know your bona fides. How do we know you have not given this information and deal to another crew?
Because having you work against each other would potentially damage the materials, as both of you could blow each other up and bring nothing back. Look, I know her. Okay, this is the first thought I had was check with Cece. She knows how to get shit. She knows where to buy stuff. Like, I don't know if you all know, but like, Cece is connected in this town. Like,
You don't say.
God damn. This is very good.
I say, look, Madeline is a criminal, but she's an honorable criminal. She honors her word.
Entrepreneur, thank you.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to think of the word.
If CC says you're good, then you're good.
All right, yeah, right? That's, somebody with her reputation, I would think. Let's see. I'm going to just check some numbers here and just give out something for free, I think. Max?
Yeah.
Madeline seems like, just like right off the top without any dice rolls, seems a little afraid of Cece. She's like trying to be very complimentary because she's intimidated by her. And Cece, I don't think you've picked up on this because Cece doesn't think of herself as like an intimidating person. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, she's right. I'm connected,
Yeah.
but maybe I don't realize quite who I'm connected to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I may not personally be intimidating, but who I know might be.
Exactly. And so her, like Lynn's implication is like she wouldn't screw over Cece because Cece is dangerous.
Ah, I see.
Right? That's the like, how do we know you wouldn't screw us over? Like, screw over Cece? Like, are you kidding?
I love that.
She doesn't say all that
Of course
out
not.
loud, but like that's Max. Your like reading of people is pretty natural, and you've never met this woman before, but like, you're like she's afraid of Cece. Like Cece, she's like the nicest.
Put that in my back pocket. Just keep that right here in case I need to use it later.
Yep. Okay. Cool. All right. So.
With that information, I think that Satch is going to not blatantly, but like tell everyone, hey, we should go.
Yep.
Just
Okay.
kind of like, check.
Yeah, Lynn like disappears into the bathroom, so she's not seen leaving with you or anything, and I assume humans still use bathrooms.
Unless they found some other way, but
Who knows?
I don't want to get into it. Like that's one of those things we can just continue to keep a mystery.
Yeah,
for
we don't
later.
need it. Don't need it in the show. Okay, so the four of you head out. Where are we headed?
I think just to gather some supplies and get back to, what was the name of the ship? Wait.
The Brosnia.
The Brosnia.
If you have your vac suit, bring good vac suit. Bring other supplies. We should go quickly.
Mm-hmm.
This ship is old and famous.
Famous, you say?
Yes, very, very historical.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna want some more information on that on the trip out there. I think.
Oh yeah.
This could be great fodder for a new show.
Max, I imagine you have like a vac suit at home and just another vac suit on the ship
yeah.
because you just buy an extra one. Like,
God, can you imagine taking that?
Why would you have to
No.
lug one around?
it's
Ugh.
a nightmare.
Trying to get that in public transportation, a rented car? No.
Yeah, I think there's probably a pretty standard Pelican case, that you it's got the foam cutouts for like helmet and gloves and all that kind of stuff.
I think I would probably keep my vac suit on Satch's ship because he's the only one I would
Right,
use it
most
with.
likely.
Well, you
More than
could
likely.
get called out to do, do repairs up out of the little weak atmosphere outdoors on the ring. Like you might
True.
need your vac suit on a
Okay.
regular basis, but it's also pretty easy to pack it up and
Yeah.
take it where you need to go. So,
Okay.
and it's also not super unusual to see people walking around in vac suits because you don't need a vac suit to go outside. But if you're going to be outside for a long time, it's convenient. We've established for folks just tuning in for the first time, we have a weak atmosphere of the gaseous region in the accretion disk, and we have a small amount of pressure outside. You still have to have a mask and be able to breathe, but it's you're not immediately in vacuum and full cold. It's just very cold and extremely, above the Mount Everest kind of environment, but still some atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So, for people who are going to be just working or have a ways to go or whatever, plenty of people are walking around in their vac suits. Plenty of people are dragging a Pelican case with them. It's whatever. And our vac suits are not like bulky today astronaut. It's more like the Expanse. It has some bulk to it, but it's refined, right? It's a little high tech. We have very high tech material science. Is something we established. So
Like closer to a flight suit size than a
yeah. Closer to flight suit. And if you're just going outside and you don't really need a vac suit, there are perfectly good coverall type of things. There are even some stylish versions of that as long as you zip it up and seal the thing and pull your mask down, you can run outside real quick and run to the next building or run to mass transit or whatever. You don't have to get fully suited up to go outside on the ring. So, yeah,
Cool.
All right.
Sounds good.
So we'll meet up at the
At the
Brosnia.
My plan is to text the production manager of the show. I need my opening act costume ready for me in my suite. I'm doing some in-depth character work. I will need not be disturbed
No.
until I arrive at the theater for opening night. XOXO,
Okay.
Max Ego.
Cool.
So I'll get back at the penthouse, pick that up, so I'll have that in case I have to literally come in hot to the theater. And,
Sure.
yeah, that's the plan.
I love that. I expect you to show up in your vac suit, or rather that you have a vac suit on the ship, and then you come with 3 cases of.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, click this bit so we don't lose the layout. That's
It also prevents my understudy from being able to go on for me.
Oh, right. Yeah. Because there's only one costume.
Yeah, they're never going to make a second one or
Well, it would take time.
an alteration.
Right,
to
like-
a
Right.
different costume.
They
Or
just-
one that would fit someone who didn't have your exact measurements, or
Who knows?
It's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. I mean, we'll probably get back in time, and it'll just be like a quick.
what
no
is
problem.
all this?
You said to bring what we needed for the mission.
Yeah, your suit, maybe weapon, maybe tools.
Yeah.
Ursa's like holding half of most of them. Like, I tried.
We're on
There
a
is
time
room.
crunch.
There is room. There is room.
Nick, we talked about this a little bit last time in offline. I think. Give us a sense for the viewer listener. What does it look like walking into the Draupnir? Like how big a space is this? What's the layout like?
You mean all those details and maps that I don't have with me?
Yeah.
But yes.
No, we don't. Just a sense of like
Okay.
when we walk in, is it like Firefly cargo space size, or something long and skinny, or
So the primary entrance is a like an airlock close to the cockpit. The cockpit is comfortably seats 3, but you can get 5 in there in a pinch. They're like some jump seats that fold down out of the back wall, and that would be like to your right. And then there's a little hallway and some storage and a fresher, and then you go to the back, and there's like a big. Currently, what's installed in there is a big cargo module. But the design on the ship, which is kind of triangular, but sort of like a rounded triangle, the design of the ship allows different
Sort of
modules
like
to
a
be mounted
croissant?
inside there. No, more like a soft arrowhead.
okay, yeah, got it.
And there are different modules that you can buy that are off the shelf that will fit in there, so you could turn it into apartments, or you could turn it into a mobile triage center or something, or you can just have one big cube in there that is good for cargo, good for toting a whole lot of stuff. So coming in through the airlock, that would be down a hallway to the left, and it would just be a big open space right now, except for a small portion of it that's kind of, I think, just curtained off, and that's where Satch hangs out. That's where his stuff is.
Oh, it doesn't have like a proper cabin?
I think that we were talking about that would be one of the units.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's stuff you haven't installed yet officially. Right. Okay,
Right.
Cool. Yeah, it's a little modular. We can install stuff. And, yeah.
Right.
Okay, so yeah,
So
you all
Satch-
come in and it's
Satch comes on board first and runs and sort of shoves some discarded clothes over into a corner and pulls a curtain over there. Closes the door on the clothes washer that has been about to be installed for almost as long as you've known him.
yeah. Yeah, it's just that one. You're waiting on that gasket.
Yeah, it's hard to get out here because
I mean, CC could print you one, but that's
it's hard to get out here
Yeah,
because we're
yeah.
so far away from civilization.
Yeah. And also, I think we talked about this a little bit. If people come from the nearest, so the 6th sphere discovered is the closest one to the drop, and to come from that sphere, well, we can make up names for stuff if we want. I don't care about that much of stuff as establishing the station and all this stuff. It's 1 light year away, so you're only a year out of date with data transmission stuff. So you're getting last season's shows and that kind of stuff, unless a drone comes out with an update. And most of your shipments come by drone, and then they're either purchased and broken down and stay here, or send it back, which is a little expensive because it just has to chug along for 10 years to go back. So basically, you would just buy the drone. When they're sending out a shipment, it includes the material of the drone, and it zips out here and stays.
So it's not like the old Netflix where you can rent the drone,
Right? No.
and send the drone back and get a new drone.
No, it's more like modern day cargo pods where the shipping container stays wherever
They
you do
just-
it.
they
It's not
just
worth it to
throw
ship
'em.
it back.
They
I
just
do worry that we have become the Draupnir station is now sort of like the landfill where they're like, we're gonna send these drones out. We don't need the materials anymore. Bye.
I mean, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when you buy when the station orders stuff, right? It's like a big order, all kinds of stuff. It's just the cost includes that they're just gonna chuck this thing through the sphere and
Right. Nobody likes this
Godspeed.
video game. We'll send it to
Yeah.
the Draupnir station.
yeah.
Funny too.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking, yes.
So yeah, you don't really have. But I also like the little bit of isolation that gives us. Is like you're not in live contact with the rest of the human, expanse of humanity. And if a person jumps out here, it's going to take them 10 years to get back. We talked about this a little bit last time.
Yeah.
But like if Rise sends some sort of investigator or some entertainer comes out or something like that, or they're going to go back and sleep for 10 years, but they're 10 years out of society, right? And that's a big decision to make, or somebody's in a lot of trouble to be sent to the drop. So
let me know if this works for you, but I'm thinking that might actually be a strategy that some entertainers use, is they go out to the drop, sort of do a thing there for like their comeback, and they come back 10 years later with a brand new, like a Madonna thing. Disappears out of the public consciousness for a while, and then comes back with a new look and a new...
Potentially, but that would be new because Draupnir just started getting famous.
Okay.
Right? Because we got sensor readings for the 7th jump sphere that we've ever discovered, right? It's actually like pretty amazing that we found that many, because it's like...
Right.
But now we kind of know what to look for, astronomically speaking. And so they've detected the 7th one. They sent jumps out. Like, we know how to send jump sphere to sphere, and no one came back, right? We've established all this stuff. And so the shortest distance to slow ride out there is jumping to Draupnir first, and then, refuel or do whatever you need to do, and off you go. And the megacorps are like, it has now become like almost not worth it to go out there. But for the individual person who could become the like king of a new sphere, there's a lot of risk that is worth it. But at megacorporate level, it's no longer worth. Like, it was worth it to throw some drones through, or maybe a manned mission, and then nothing came back, and they're like, oh crap, maybe the sphere's unusable. Like, it's not worth the risk at their level because they're so wealthy. But it's now all these like independent groups are coming to the drop, refueling, and they're not going back to 6, right? They're trying to turn around and go to 7 and just be the one to discover it. That's a 20-year trip. And when they get there, if they can jump back, they're not going to jump back to the drop. They're going to jump back to 6 probably, because that's the next, or any of the other 6 spheres. They're going to go back into central humanity and be like,
file their claims.
Hello, I am the king of 7. You may come and pay me dues and fees and whatever, right? And tell us about what planets are there and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the theory. And I think that was just discovered within the last few years, that the like megacorps quit sending stuff through the sphere. Like, that's getting us, like, nothing's coming back. Maybe like 5 years ago. And so in that amount of time, people have been vipping out to, that's the new technical term.
Vipping.
Yeah.
Vip. And you don't have to be at 6 to come straight to Draupnir, right? You can come from any of the spheres. They just like aim it here. It's just, this is the least risky wild jump, because like the further you have to go, the harder the numbers get. And we're like, not that great at it. So, humans doing math. That's where we are with that. So the drop is starting to get to be a big deal. The idea that an entertainer might come out here intentionally because they're kind of in a lull in their career and do a thing, and that might be broadcast back, like, the rest of humanity would get it within a year, and then they're sort of slow ride making their way back to do a big, like, ta-da, and I've returned. And
probably not so much yet.
It may be occurring to somebody like, oh, I should head out to Draupnir.
Who's on like the
yeah,
down,
like
the down
like the
slide.
Barry Manilow, on the yeah, exactly.
They want to have their permanent show at Tivoli.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Space Siegfried and Roy.
exactly.
Get back, Gilbert Hubbard. No one wants you here.
Right.
Space Freed and Roy, yes.
Yeah. They want to come out here and then be able to go back to humanity with like a new accent and
So,
you know,
just Madonna.
yeah, exactly.
Stories of the wild frontier.
Yeah, exactly.
Wearing your wristband. Oh no, I'm a follower of the black hole now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's Odin's.
I believe you find Jesus, you come back.
Yeah. I have Odin, something like that.
Yeah.
Odin's Eye.
I got this cool bracelet.
WWOED.
But with Odin's eye too.
No, it just says "Yeet, Pray, Love."
Whoa.
Oh yeah,
That's
it does
right,
say
was
Yeet,
it?
Pray,
It
Pray,
smells
Love.
woad. Yeah, Yeet, Pray, Love is so good.
I cannot wait for the shirt.
Okay, so we all pile into the ship. As far as I know, Irsa is the only one who would not have like bridge duties.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're out here to like move heavy things.
I'm
and-
here to pick heavy things up and put them back down.
Didn't you have some sort of space skill? I thought we'd established this last time.
I punch
No,
things
that
well.
was me.
No, I know we discovered yours. Oh, well,
Look.
you've got gun combat and stealth and
I am built for like a very specific purpose and nothing else.
yeah. Okay.
I would say we probably take like a small fuel cell or something, just to like an extra one, so that if we need to power up the
Oh.
derelict.
Okay.
Well, that's an
Yes.
excellent idea.
Also, frankly, after what happened last time, I'm happy to just bring a turret.
Well,
And
because-
have that turret
yeah.
installed.
Because if it's too heavy for us to tow, if it ends up being too heavy,
Yeah.
we might need to power it up and drive it back in.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Where'd my PDF go? Oh, whatever. There's a fusion generator in the book that is. They're kind of picturing it as like a camp fusion generator,
that's cute.
but it would be enough to like restart ship systems if they're functional. If they're not functional, it doesn't matter what you plug
Right.
into it.
Well, but also if it's a 500-year-old ship, then whatever we have now is probably way more than it was designed to use.
Right.
So we probably need to actually amp it down.
Yeah,
like
you'd
a
have
standard
to-
fusion would be plenty of energy.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get a cost on that because somebody should buy it. Unless anyone has portable fusion generator on their list already. I don't think anyone was doing that kind of
No.
shopping.
No,
That's the
nothing
kind of
that
shit I
cool.
buy when I make a character. Like, this is probably something I'll need. A portable fusion generator.
Yes.
There was stuff
It's
that
like
I looked at,
500, I
but
think.
Is that in the
Where is my
original book,
table
or are we
that tells me
looking
how
at-
much it
Oh,
costs?
it's probably the page before.
Yeah,
Or 2 pages before.
yeah. Because why wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Portable fusion generator. Oh,
How much is it?
we're looking at 500,000 credits.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. This
well
is not a
then-
camp generator.
No.
Okay.
Okay, maybe
Um,
we won't be taking one of those.
So, if we, as a group, want to, like, there's some sort of, like, fusion jumpstart thing.
Yeah, because
like-
I wasn't thinking a generator,
Right.
more like a battery that
What
we
if-
could. Yeah.
What if it's a device to sort of, like, your jumper cables, like, from your ship to that? Like, that can't go wrong.
I think that's probably the way to go because
Yeah.
based on the ship stats that we were using, I'm not using 100% capacity
Yeah.
of the generator that's in the ship. My ship systems have some leeway, so if
Yeah.
there's an overload, so there is enough that I could maybe jumpstart another ship, assuming that it has
Okay.
a functional drive at that point.
So then what we would need to procure is, like, this is not standard components I think you would have on your ship. Do you want the book?
No. I was just pointing to the flavor of your liqueur. We were
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about.
The limoncello.
Yeah.
LaCroix.
Oh.
Yeah. It was
talking
in the
about it
fridge over
earlier.
there. I didn't even know this flavor existed, and I am
I think it's
enjoying it.
new. I think it's
Yeah.
new.
I'm gonna go buy some. It's definitely like
The
somebody,
drop, sponsored by LaCroix.
yeah, a ghost in the next
Right.
room shouted "Limoncello," and it tastes like that. Okay, so we do need to acquire some kind of equipment. This is not a normal thing. At the docks, they would definitely sell you something that they said would do this, but you can't trust. Like, they would even sell you, right? Like,
Right.
Like, they're like, you want a crossover cable with the added shielded wiring, right? Like, that's the
Right.
No,
It's one of those where I'm not set up to be a mark, but if I walk in
right.
as a mark, they'll be happy to sell me something.
Right. Or if that salesman doesn't recognize you,
Right.
or I don't know if you have any sort of like visible indication that you're from here. I imagine a lot of folks from the docks do, because they don't want to get, they want the respect of the, that is afforded by the Marquis's guidelines.
Maybe a special tattoo or something.
That's
that
sort of what I
people
was
got,
thinking,
yeah.
like, in the
docks.
like the
Or maybe
the
something
way the
you can
Expanse
hide,
does
but
or
like
something.
pull the sleeve up and, something like that. You could decide what that is. I'll let you think about that.
Okay.
So, you can't buy this at the docks. Yeah. But the forge would have something like it, or you could probably like put something together in a couple hours,
Okay.
depending on how you want to use your time.
I probably have enough stuff around the shop that I could put something together. So yeah, I'll put together some jumper cables.
Okay. Cool.
Space jumper cables.
Michelle, I'm going to have you do a preliminary roll of just like prepping what you think you're going to need.
Okay.
And we'll see how it goes. I feel like it's an engineering role.
Yeah.
It's not mechanic yet, but this is like designing something, right? And you don't know what the other end of this looks like. So let's make it engineering plus education. But I am going to apply a -1 because you're sort of designing for something that you don't know what the other end of it looks like.
Right.
You could look up the schematics of 500-year-old ships, but it might as well be a jalopy,
Yeah.
right? Like, who knows? So you're kind of winging it.
I'll tell you what, go in the forge, go to that crate that has all of the connectors and cords
Yes.
that for the last 500 years that
Yeah.
no one's been using.
Seriously.
That you might need
And
one
it's
day.
moved from building to building every time somebody, yeah.
It'll be in there.
So that's 12, and then plus 1 instead of 2 because you gave me a -1. So
Yeah.
13.
Great.
Lucky
That's-
13.
Yep, that's the maximum success. So, to the best of your ability, you feel like you've accomplished something here, right? You've got some wiring. You even thought about the fact that, like, oh yeah, there is this old school connector, and you like fabricated a connector, and went like, yeah, okay, but then to connect into that, I'm going to need to like twist the wire. You have a really good sense of how this should work. And how to not overload either system. So when we actually go to, like, if we need to hook this up and use it, mark this down. I'm going to give you a +1 to the jumper cable roll. Now that we've called it that, that's just in my head. So that is, yeah. So, what else are we doing?
I thought we didn't have jumps in the future. It'd be a sphere cable.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Here we are.
Yep. I said that with my human mouth.
Allegedly.
No, it's definitely a mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly, it was a sick mouth.
Oh, here's a question for y'all. We talked last time, we'd established there's like an AI contingent of robots that have like a UN presence, right? They're like a nation,
Sure.
essentially. We went through all of those trials and tribulations 300 years ago of like, what do we do about the AIs? And they're like, yo, we're just people.
Just people.
And
Beeple.
thank you.
Sorry. I didn't have my mic on for that either.
Say it again for the class.
I don't want to.
You have to because you did this and you're
I
responsible
know.
for it.
I said that they were people.
People. Everyone.
like it.
People. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
No,
Nope.
don't be sorry.
We are not
That-
sorry.
Claire, I want you to reflect on how happy that has made me.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah.
I didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, I know.
I feel dirty.
It's so good when Clara jumps in with
Any pun.
because she always feels
Yeah.
so bad about
Like
it.
Die.
But you
immediately
always feel
regrets of like, oh no.
It's like, oh, I've done a bad.
Stick your hand in the fire. Like, oh no.
It's like when your dog knows they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
They're
Like, oh, I definitely,
Oh.
you were looking at me when I did that? That's
too
bad.
faster, too faster.
Yeah.
We're all chanting one of us, one of us.
Okay.
Never.
So, the question I was going to have for you all is, so one established fact in the setting is that AI people need like a physical body, right? Like being in a computer, like a network computer system, it can be a very smart computer, but some function of true sapience requires them to be in some sort of body. It doesn't have to be shaped like an anthroform, but they need some sort of like, there's this like, you know, quantatronic brain.
Quantatronic, yeah.
Yeah, quantatronic brain that is the necessary leap to like full sapience. And so they're not just sort of wafting around the networks or whatever. And they're not all automatically good hackers. That's inappropriate. Why would you suggest that? But that's a thing. Now, do we want a bunch of them on the station? Do we want any? Is that something we'd rather just like, that's a bit of busyness that we don't really need to deal with?
Well, so in that I have a question. How difficult a trip is it for an AI? Like, there's cold sleep for humans. Is there some sort of cold sleep for an AI, or they have to actually be alive?
Yeah, I don't think they
doing
sleep.
it for
And
I don't think they can
alone
sleep.
for 10 years
Yeah.
or however long.
Yeah, I mean, they would go with friends probably, but like, yeah.
So
And I think a few probably hire on as like cold sleep nannies, you know? Like, that's a good job, right?
Yeah.
And they occupy
Pays.
themselves however they want to do. And
right.
I'm going to ask a question because this is not, because I don't, Clara personally is like weird about AI. 3 laws? What are we doing here? Like,
no, they're fully independent.
fully
like,
independent.
as
They
humans.
are as human
They're-
as human
Yep.
as one can be without getting into a philosophy degree.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's
Emotions.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Emotions. There are some who go to church.
they're just fully people. Got
Pick
it.
your church, and there's probably a few million of them.
In that case, I feel like they're probably an even amount of robots as there are, or AI as there are people on the drop.
Per capita.
Yeah. Well, especially on a station where they're sending people that they're probably not going to get back.
Yeah.
It would be a great place for
Oh, and
AI
they're
to
going to
have.
need some sleeper nannies, actually.
Yeah, and they'll need sleeper nannies, and it sounds
Yeah.
like if you're out there, it's like, well, it sounds like you probably make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
Why not just get off the ship here?
Okay.
So it's probably
So
even.
we'll have some.
Some,
Yeah.
not all.
Okay.
Cool. That's fine. I just wanted to check, like, some people are like, oh, enough with the AI bullshits. Like,
Did you not get enough last time?
no.
I don't think so.
Okay, this is not me, so don't give me a look, Clara. But
What's happening?
people are people, so how could it be? You and I get along so artificially.
Oh.
Every day we stray farther from God.
This is,
Thank you, James V.
I'm full inside.
I'm never going to do it. I would never make good on this threat. But that you are in the same room as me and I have a bowl of dice in front of me.
Yeah, let's just put that over there. Yep.
Call it a hunch.
Yep.
What hunch?
Okay.
Let's start singing Beeple Needing Beeple.
Yes.
Right?
Oh.
Short people got no reason to live.
Every day we stray
Did you hear
farther.
about that new band, The Village People?
It takes a village. Okay, so I just wanted to have a little bit of background there, so I wasn't like I'm super into AI stories, and I don't want to just like make that every story. I've played a robot in half of the games I've played here at Happy Jacks, like, or at least it feels like that. Like, it's a thing for me. I know what I am, but
I feel like eventually start developing a brand when you play enough games.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's-
mean, ta-da!
what do you mean?
How very dare. I was Trey Butch.
Very, yeah.
And they prefer synthetic human.
Is that the
not
name
robot.
you go under
Yeah,
when you
yeah,
use
yeah.
that voice? Trey
Robot
Butch?
is
Trey
insulting.
Butch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is my
Trey Butch.
yeah.
I'm gonna name
Trey
Yeah,
Butch.
T-R-A-Y. Or G-R-E.
Yeah.
Thierry.
TRE accent.
Yes, because of course.
I'm gonna need a minute.
Okay, so we're loaded up. You've got your your jacket is eating
Oh,
the microphone.
go away. Fix it.
Mute.
Fix it. No,
Still bad?
Well, Well, let's move it to your shirt if we can.
Okay.
I think.
Or
it's-
the outside of the jacket, maybe?
Well, it was the outside of the jacket,
Oh.
kind of.
Oh, yeah.
It just got folded
Or
in.
maybe more. Yeah. Okay. Maybe that's gonna do it.
Okay.
All right. Are we okay?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it got messed up when I did the hood thing, and it's been up.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So anyway, you've got this pretty bizarre-looking thing that you're putting together. You've also got a few people in the forge, kind of like looking over at your workstation, like you have some room to do projects and whatever on your own. But the thing you're making looks fucking weird, right? Like there's no conceivable purpose, and so some people have noticed. Are you trying to hide what you're doing? Does it occur to you?
I don't think it occurs to me. I think that I'm working on it, and I mean, maybe I notice a couple of looks, but I don't feel like I need to explain myself. I don't know. I think they'd be kind of used to me experimenting with doing weird things anyway.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's for Max.
Yeah, there we go. It's for Max's show. Oh.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, definitely for the show.
Forget I asked.
Station sweetheart.
Okay. Yeah, as you all are getting ready to launch, Yrsa, you've got a jump seat somewhere in this wide open cargo space, right?
Yep.
Well, there's enough room for us all to be in the cockpit.
I thought you said there were 3 seats.
There's 3 seats and then 2 like jump seats.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay.
like the fold down.
Got it. Okay. And Max, you're typically at the sensor, like communication thing.
Yep.
And you're kind
Astrogation.
of on astrogation, and you're our pilot. Okay.
That is the case.
As you're getting ready to take off, I don't know how long it's been since anyone. It's like when you do the flying thing, this doesn't happen. But when you're getting ready to take off from the docks, you get Max's voice over the speakers, like, "Thank you for visiting the docks and the drop in large. We hope you come back soon."
Getting real at Disneyland vibes. Like,
It's very that.
Yeah.
It is very that.
Joey brought up that Max is the voice of the station.
oh, it's
So,
great. It's,
and this is something you recorded like 10 years
Oh
ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Right, like,
all I
A
hear
paying
are the
gig
mistakes.
is a paying gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a gig's a gig.
You can hear some little like mouth clicking that should have been filtered out.
I may know that this bugs Max and go, you really should have drank some water.
Yeah. Thirsty? Thirsty, Max?
Turn to Max and lip sync with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, no.
You all know it
the
by heart.
whole time, all of us just look at him.
Yeah. We hope
Van
you.
a ser sentados, por favor.
Thank you. We hope you drop in again soon.
Oh yeah.
All right.
There's a little note of defeat in his voice
Yeah,
as he says
when
that.
he's forced to read that because you argued about the line. You're like,
Of
no,
course,
people
no
don't
one-
want this.
No.
You're like, well, your paycheck does.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it is raining in Southern California,
yeah.
and we can
That's
hear
so
it.
weird.
Yeah, there's a whole lot
Yeah.
of weather happening
Thunder,
here.
lightning, the whole.
Oh wow.
Very,
nine
very
yards
frightening.
today.
Me.
Love you.
Love you.
So, taking us out, let's do a series of rolls because that's fun.
Okay.
The consequences are not we crash and die, right? But I'm trying to get a sense of whether you all get much attention. I don't think you have to. You have to like file some amount of flight plan until you're X distance from the surface of the ring.
I think
You
yeah.
know.
But I think that's also been expedited by the fact that new ship is coming in,
Oh,
and so
yeah.
there's a lot of traffic, and everyone it's just kind of rubber stamped.
Yeah.
If you're saying, "Hey, I'm getting out of
Yeah,
here," for
they
now.
asked you to GTFO. You're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Right.
I'm going. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, great, off you go. Satch, let's do a quick pilot roll.
You
Just
bet.
to make sure we don't completely eat shit.
So it's pilot plus dex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for this one. Because it's definitely, by wire on this one. It's not point the ship and go.
17.
Jesus Christ.
I'm a really good pilot.
I may have to revisit this 2d8
No,
situation.
I don't. I think it's fine.
I think it's great.
Wait,
Well, so
Jason,
here's the thing.
Wait till I roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But
okay.
but
good
also in the math, you've made our static bonuses less
point. Yes, that's
by
true.
increasing the dice range.
Yes.
So we're hot right now, but you know.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Law of large numbers. I did the large numbers charts, so we'll see. We'll see how long that holds out. Right now, when it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Astrogator. Let's
All right.
do Astrogate plus education. Let's say.
That's a 12, 13, 14.
Okay, it's an outstanding success. You plot a course through the safe zone of what where you have to go, and then you reacquire the telemetry. But to really get a good lock on, we're going to need sensors.
Yeah,
to,
let's do a sensors roll.
Fully establish this is the telemetry we're going to, right? This isn't some other piece of shit.
Rude. Yeah. So that's
Plus
plus one
education.
plus education. Education. Okay.
Would you think it was going to be social?
Maybe. I mean, sensors and comms.
We're trying to meet up.
right?
It's like ham.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 9.
Okay. Yep. That is a medium success. The minimum for medium success.
Also doubles again.
Okay. Take a thread.
This carry over, right?
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
That's how you're doing it.
Okay, so the three of you managed to, we navigate out through the busyness.
Isn't Ursa going to roll?
No.
To
Moral support?
What do you want her to be in charge of?
Prayer?
a good radio station.
You don't.
The tunes. That's the most important part of a road
All right.
trip.
Okay, I'll throw this in right now. As
So,
we lift
Roll
off,
leadership.
I'm gonna do it. As we let loose the surly bonds of Earth,
No.
Twitch,
Of
the
Draupnir?
station of Draupnir, you actually would notice that Ursa is not comfortable flying. She does not like space. Open space is weird.
Especially after the last trip.
Especially not at the last trip. There's just
So I honestly
Yeah.
think that that's something that Satch has noticed and is trying to give you something that you can do to take your mind off it.
that's fine. You do realize that I do not have a skill in leadership because you
None of us
wouldn't.
do.
You wouldn't let me take jack of all trades.
Yeah. Exactly. Jack of all trades is bullshit.
I wanted it so bad. Want to roll it?
Let's no, leadership is unfair. Let's see.
Don't do.
Is it actually like picking the radio station? That's what you're trying to get her to do?
Something like that, yeah. I mean, I think
Genuinely,
that's...
she can entertain herself. It's fine. I've got a Tamagotchi situation.
Okay.
But like,
Or make a playlist or
yeah,
something.
I've got a Tamagotchi.
You know what? So Ursa's actually trained in stealth, which means she also knows when somebody's tailing her on foot,
Yeah.
typically. But it might be something where you would go like, "Hey, can you make sure no one's following us out because
Right.
that was a pretty shady deal?" And
I'm feeling real patronized, but I'll take it.
by him, not me, right?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're trying to fly casual. Just make sure that no one's looking at us.
What's the roll?
It's stealth. Let's do stealth, but let's make it intellect on this one.
Oh, it's a goose eggs for both. So let's try.
At least it's not a -3.
It's not a -3. Okay, are we adding these together?
Yeah.
13.
Okay, that's
Okay.
exception. The maximum success.
There we
So,
go.
Yeah.
So when you
13
have
plus,
a 1 in a skill or 2 in a skill, what does that do? 0 means it's not
not
-3.
-3, and then a 1 is +1, and 2 is +2.
Okay.
Yeah, and you would just add that to your stat, and then have a total of
Unless
up
you
to
have
+5,
jack of all
I think.
trades, which brings all of your stats to 0, basically.
Yeah,
Which is beautiful.
it's
That
complete
is
bullshit.
lovely.
Bullshit. Okay, so the I love that it's -3. This is just so juicy.
Such a...
Okay,
If anything, I like being able to try to do things that you're not skilled in for that reason.
yeah, I do too. I think it's actually really thematic and fun.
Some things I agree with, like... If you're not trained in explosives, yes, you should be rolling explosives of -3. But other things I kind of go like...
Yeah,
Like carouse? You gotta do carouse?
Right. Or deception.
Are you cool?
Yes.
Well, like, we can get into the nitty gritty later.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, so we head out, and Ursa, I think you get a little like wrapped up in this like, oh, you actually have like a really good sense of how all the ships are moving around, and you spy like a little like unmarked ship is trailing a like tourist boat, right? You're like, oh, that's what trailing someone poorly looks like.
So that's happening somewhere over there. We're not fixing that problem.
Not our problem.
I think a little like when you're motion sick and you just look out the window to kind of. I think doing this is definitely like, oh, cool, we're still in society. And
Yeah,
there are
I mean, you
people
could totally
around.
pull like a VR kind of like headset.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't think it would take much more than just a little like cyberpunk band over your eyes. You know.
This is like a dog on a trip anxiety. This isn't like she's going to like actually have a problem with
Sure.
this.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, you take a look and you feel 100% positive that no one's following you out. Who knows if someone's already out there, but no one just like detached from under the station and swooped out to, you know.
So cool. I don't hear the sound of a sword stabbing into our ship as someone tries to board it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, we didn't get a musical sting of tense music as
Yeah.
we pulled out.
The camera didn't linger as we passed by, so that like
Exactly. Okay, so you all are on your way through the system. Draupnir's system is a lot of debris and a couple of gas planets pretty far out that are going to take decades to deplete, maybe centuries to deplete. It's mostly what we're doing for like refueling opportunities. It wasn't a huge thing that the station was pulling on when it was just this like lonely company town research station. But over the last few years, we've like been, you know, ferrying some stuff back and forth. But these are massive, massive gas giants, right? Like probably could have ignited into stars if you know, for a twist of fate. But the original star in this system, we weren't sure if there was one, except the scientists haven't found enough evidence that they're relatively certain that the black hole ate the star, and so they have no idea of like how long ago that was. The planets could have broken up before it ate the star, or after, or whatever. There's not much evidence of any kind of like environment. They were just like rocky chunk planets, but those are all kind of broken up in a much more granular asteroid belt, right? And then like two really big gas giants past that, and that's pretty much the system. And those gas giants are in a weird orbit around the black hole. It probably isn't exactly where the star was, but the star got, you know, slurped up into that. So that's it happens. But you all head out, and you realize your destination is well past the two gas giants, right?
Okay.
And up above the like regular eclipse, the, you know, where the orbits happen. But yeah, it should only take you about 10 hours to get out there. You have really good readings, really good sensors, you know, like the perfect path to take to be able to maximize. You know, straight line is rarely the right choice. So you've got this, and you realize too, probably one of the reasons no one else has detected this is that it is essentially on the other side of these two huge gas giants, which have a fair amount of traffic around them because there's people out here like mining it and sending stuff back, and so you like whipping past those probably won't be noticed, but you head out, and anything we want to do on the way. It's a 10-hour blip. We can just fast forward if we want. We'll like get a folding table and play euchre, like whatever you're gonna.
Euchre.
A bunch of it at this point, it's just like boop, automate and go, right? Like,
So, I know in Traveller they have rules about learning new skills and spending time, and they say especially like, hey, during trips, are we doing anything like that, or are you doing like a different skill system? Okay.
Yeah, we need to have some sort of like.
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
We'll circle back to that.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, the otherwise the trip is essentially uneventful. Right? You get some of the chatter of the gas miners as you go by. All sounds pretty normal there. Very salty language on the radio. But yeah, you head out even past there, and it gets really quiet. You have your like close range communications for dealing with ships and then it's just the open comms, right? Like it's your sensors. It gets really quiet. What?
Claire's like,
Yeah,
Irsa's not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get out past the last gas giant, and like if you look out the front, like it's nothing.
Like, however many hours we
Tumbleweed.
Irsa like has probably been in the cockpit, just like hanging out with everyone, doing whatever they do. As soon as they pass the last one and someone makes note of it, she just gets up. My mic's been off this whole time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She just gets up after we pass the last gas giant, and she's gonna go into the hold and do whatever she feels like doing in there. Pull-ups, maybe.
Yeah, I think probably the big like noticeable moment is when all that chatter drops away. Because I don't know if you've been in a situation this far. I don't think you've ever been this far from the station.
Yeah,
Is that accurate?
No. Yeah, I don't think she would have, no.
Yeah.
Not unless these guys dragged her.
Satch, have you been this far out?
I think so.
Just to do it?
Yeah, he likes to fly.
Yeah.
And so, I think that when he got a hold of this ship, he probably took 4 or 5 days and just flew and just got to know what the ship is like, all the little personality of it, and then came back, like taking a camping trip by yourself.
Yeah. Okay. What about Max?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
He has not been this far out, but he's distracted, kind of keeping an eye on the clock, and also keeping an eye on like his script and going over stuff for the show.
Yep.
Like, so he's not terribly worried about it, except for the time.
And CC?
I think, yeah, because while I was at university learning astrogation, they would take us out, to practice our skills.
So for you two, it's one more 100,000 kilometers, and it's the farthest I've been from home. Yeah. Okay.
Why would we leave?
All my stuff is there.
So, with all of these incredible, roles and everything, you guys are just working in perfect harmony. You head out, and you actually get within range of the ship in about 8 hours. It's much quicker than you were expecting to.
Okay.
You were even, your astrogator made sure we used a little bit of gravity assist from the gas giants to get a little sling in, and but not so hard that you accidentally go back in time. That's
Yeah. There's
careful.
always that risk.
Right. That's. But yeah, you're on approach, and the non-visual sensors are you've been following the telemetry of this thing the whole time. It's just a little blip on the screen, but we're within range if you wanted to try and pull up visual sensors.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to do that.
Okay. Let's roll. There is no catastrophic 2 to 8 horrible result, but I'm curious about the resolution that you're able to pull up,
Sure.
and how close we have to get to know more.
Are we still doing education?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a 6 total.
Oh, okay. So you're able to pull up a fairly fuzzy image. There is writing on the hull, but we can't see it yet. We're still, a little ways out. Satch, it seems like there might be something wrong with your sensors. To be this close and not be able to get a good image is a little concerning, frankly. But what Max has pulled up on the screen is maybe you need to recalibrate those or something, or the actual detector is damaged,
Right.
or it was fine when we left the station.
Right, bury that.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some electromagnetic
It's got
interference.
It's got a little finger grease on it, but it was fine when you left, and no one's been outside. So
Right. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this, but it's not great. Might want to have it looked at.
It will be fine until we get back.
Whatever you say.
All right. So The only
It cannot be helped. Or do you want to go climb out and fix the sensor?
I know how to work it. I don't know how to fix it. That's a
Ayo.
whole other skill set that I don't have time for.
All right. So the only consequence is that you're not going to be able to get detailed information until you're basically within docking range, right?
Okay.
You get in close, and in fact, it does say the Gopher broke. It has iconography from like original long-range space exploration, and I think also you like went back through your, because you had seen the movie Satch, you probably looked up the Gopher broke. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Let's see what you were able to find, because that kind of stuff is not immediately on the drops like internet. We have all of human knowledge available here. It's only a year out of date, right? But it's not at the top of the pile, right? For the assistive AI to be like, it looks like you're searching for for 500-year-old spaceships.
It's on page 2 of Google.
Jeez, yeah. Ooh.
I think that like the first things that come up are probably like the movie that I was watching where it's mentioned or something
Dramatized.
that's
Yeah. So I'm going to have you go ahead and roll education plus admin, which you have, so it's not -3.
Yep. So that's an 8.
Oh, hey, okay, now we're getting some rolls.
Yeah. See, aren't you happy?
You managed to confirm that Gopher Broke is a ship that went out a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And it had people on it.
I'm concerned again.
So the 8- in this game is the 6- of PBTA.
Right.
So it's not great.
You're concerned?
Yeah. I like how these numbers are working out with the dice. This is
I dislike that that's a ship that had people on it. I don't want to. Anyway.
Well, we don't know had. It might still.
That might be worse. That may actually be worse. How big is the Gopher Broke?
It would be worse for bottom line. Yes.
Like peeking face out window. Like
right. It's bigger than Satch's ship. Mm-hmm. It's smaller than the cruise ship that he lives in.
Okay, that's a huge range, but I get it.
Yeah. I mean, you're to have a better refined visual analysis than that?
No, I'm looking at like shuttle versus.
How many washing machines is it?
Yeah, how many washing machines are we looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone living on the drop is pretty familiar with spaceships in general, right?
Yeah,
so that's fine. It is a large ship. It's not the biggest ship you've ever seen.
That's where I was looking for.
It would require what's the other spacecraft skill? Spacecraft versus small craft. You're using small craft to pilot Satch's ship. This is a spacecraft.
Yeah, have we're going to tow it, right? That's been the thought.
Yep.
Okay.
That's possible. Just because there's no
friction. It's more of a. It was more of a logistically, how many people fit on a craft that large?
Yeah, it's a bunch.
I'm real excited to get on this thing.
Now, would anyone else have been in? Let's see. You were making a cable. I feel like that took the whole prep time of making this weird ass device that you're like, I hope this works. So I don't think you had time before we left. But once you sit in the astrogation, you wouldn't have had much to do. Would CC have been looking up stuff about this, or is she looking at other stuff, thinking about other things? It's just a derelict ship, whatever.
I think, after hearing Satch say it was this abandoned or this lost ship, I think she would be curious enough to look it up.
Okay, cool. So let's do. Let's stick with admin because that's our computers skill. I don't think there's something else that would be researched.
Electronics computers. Computers is a specialty of electronics.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it would be the electronics skill. But in this case, we're not hacking or programming. I think in a research check, I'm going to stick with admin.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. When it's not how well you can use the computer, but how well you can sift through the information you're presented with.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So...
can I say that I keep getting distracted by historical tidbit trivia of the people and not the ships.
Yes. Yeah. So, Cece, you've got 1 admin and +2 education, so +3. This is a great roll for you. What could go wrong?
10.
Okay, that's great. So that's right in the middle. And you are able to discover that this was the first peopled wild jump, right? This is what it's known for.
Okay.
And it's not in the history books because people have wild jumped thousands of times since then, and there are many ships lost, right? There's a lot of them. We don't know what happened to them, and that could be because they're so far away, right? Because when you wild jump, you go into the sphere at a particular vector and speed, and that determines how far you go and what direction you go in. And you just show up. Now, that could be in a sun, right? Or so far out of the galaxy that you're just like, well, we're going to die out here.
Now, is there, when you do one of these jumps, are you in sleep?
No.
No. Okay.
But they took sleeper ships because they weren't sure how far out they would go, or if they would be in a system where we're like, oh, it's going to take a couple years to get somewhere that's more habitable, or something. Like, a lot of these ships were willing to end up somewhere isolated just to be explorers, right?
Okay.
And Go for Broke is kind of in that category. You don't know a ton about their mission parameters or the people who were on there, but, this is... When we got to Alpha Centauri, found the first jump sphere, we started sending drones through, figured out, a lot of the drones, all the original drones went through and were like, they just disappear. Don't put anything in there, right? Until we sent one through slow enough, and it just showed up at the end of the Alpha Centauri system, just a few million kilometers away, because it sort of crept through. And we were like, oh, we've just been flinging shit across the galaxy. Hope we didn't break any windows. And so once we figured out and started to get some basic math of how to wild jump, Go for Broke is the first one that's okay, we know there's a few good star systems in this direction. We're going to take enough people to colonize it. Let's go.
Wow.
And
About how many people were on the ship?
it's hard to know exactly. The ship is big enough to have 100 colonists.
Okay.
But
a
that
ship's
was
record wasn't ever.
well, that's what she's having trouble finding. With the middle of the road result here
Right.
is they could have taken 100 colonists, but then what you can't find is the exact record of it was colonists versus supplies is what they had to what every ship has to decide, right? So did they bring 50 colonists because they were going to max out their supplies? Where did they put that slider?
Right.
We don't know.
Okay.
And it was hard to find that information because it wasn't dramatized and yeah.
I was gonna say with the roll you couldn't find a manifest, but that's.
Well, on a 13 plus we would have gotten there.
Oh,
But,
for sure. Okay, cool.
yeah.
Okay.
So, we're within docking range.
Everyone, I will bring it in. We will. I think that the airlocks are compatible, but we will find out.
We're gonna back suit up just in case.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So
This is where you find out you brought all the crates except the vac-suit crate. Oh no, you
No, I
left
have-
one on
yeah.
the ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that bother Satch that he just leaves one on the ship? It's just hanging in one of the lockers.
I think it did initially, but Satch then just started to think of it as one of his vac suits,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like a spare.
This is
Like,
an
okay.
emergency vac-suit for me
Right.
that he uses when he comes over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a toothbrush.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, it's kind of like a toothbrush.
No,
With the plumbing.
I can't share a toothbrush or vac-suit. Thank you. Yeah, even with my partner, I cannot. I don't understand people who do.
no,
I-
I can't. No,
Yeah.
that's a hard no.
I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, I don't think I'd be.
Why? Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're so expensive.
Yeah, right. Okay, so we all get suited up. Probably just go ahead and depressurize the cabin now, right? Because you're there's no reason to have pressure in the cabin if you're suited up?
No, I think I want to keep the ship pressurized because if we need to transfer air over, like the airlock door will on our side will keep it in just like it does there.
Yeah.
And if we like if someone's suit breaches and we just need to run back real quick or something like that.
Okay.
It's our island of life, so
Sure.
I kind of want to keep that
Okay.
as soon as possible.
Sure. Now, by depressurizing, I mean that you would like suck the atmosphere into the containment, right? You wouldn't like blow it out.
Correct.
As far as like what I was suggesting wasn't like waste all this air, but it's also fine. You want to keep it pressurized. I'm glad I clarified.
Okay.
So, as you're approaching, we don't even need a roll. Your docking system normally has a like.
One thing, I'm sorry. Before we actually dock and connect, I want to try and just send a hail of just some sort of general hail and see if we get an automated response, if we actually get a response, anything like that.
Yeah,
Just
let's,
'cause I wanna see.
General
probably,
hail?
Probably want sensors on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's you have the comm specialty?
I do, yes.
Okay, so we'll do an extra +1 for that.
Good. Thank God. So that's 7, 8, 9.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, plus, there's a 7, plus 2 is 9, plus another 2 is
Okay.
11.
Okay, great. But it's still the mid-range success. You are getting that basic like black box telemetry of like, hello, I'm a ship. But it's not even an SOS.
Okay.
And there are no other substantial signals.
But the ship's comms are clearly still on and working. If
There is one signal coming out of the
Right.
ship, and I don't think we can infer that the comms are working.
But I mean, there's still power. This thing is still...
Something is on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And part of that is the standard salvage statement and contract that goes out, like
Legal salvage.
declaring intent.
Yeah.
This ship is believed to be salvage. We're entering under an assumption of this act.
Yeah.
This is not an act of piracy.
Yeah.
If no one is here,
And then the thunder rumbles.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so your ship is now broadcasting the, like, this is our legal salvage, stay away or we'll treat you as a threat, blah,
Exactly.
blah, blah. Yeah.
Right. We like all of the legal bases are covered that
Yep.
we have, claimed that this is
Yeah.
salvage.
And you're so far out, it'll be a few hours before anyone back at the station even hears your legal salvage broadcast, but
Right.
it'll, eventually the whole system will hear it. And,
Right. But
yeah.
I'm also broadcasting to the ship, so
Yeah,
if there's
that's-
anyone on there, they have an opportunity to go, no.
This is not salvage, yeah.
We're fine.
I
Yeah.
live here.
How are you?
Yeah.
With you told us that someone has left the lights on, literally, but like it's sending out a signal.
Yes.
If it's like can we determine if it's like a black box signal or if it's
It
It's a
is
black box.
essentially black box
Just that. It's not
telemetry.
like-
Yeah, it's not
okay.
even an SOS.
okay? It
Base-
really is just hey, we're here.
Based on my knowledge working with computers, how long should a black box be able to emit that signal?
Oh, well, that's like thousands of years.
Okay, just making sure it wasn't like a 50 years. I'm like,
No, it's on an entirely separate, little like chunk of depleted, plutonium and whatever that. I
Okay,
don't know
perfect.
if that's a thing or not, but like it's just
It is now.
it's
your
an
universe.
unobtainium. It's fine.
yeah, it's a fully independent circuit that like has to be on all the time, or at least it used to. Nobody uses these anymore. Not at this exact signal.
Yeah. It's like the crank on the Model T.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Perfect.
Okay.
that's
I
the
just want to
reading.
make sure we've got all our legal ducks in a row
Yep.
and that they don't start shooting at us because
Yeah.
if there's anyone in there.
Yeah. And so for the record, there isn't much in the way of running lights outside. Like your first good look is your ship lights kind of panning over it. It's a big ship, so to like inspect every inch of the outer to like determine what it would take hours.
Right. Is there anything that it looks like an obvious blowout or obvious
No,
weapon
you do
damage or anything
You do
like
a quick like 360 one, 360 the other.
Okay.
As quickly as you can. Nothing obvious.
Okay.
But engines are off, lights are off, and the handshake that your docking collar expects to receive is one-sided. So it's your dock is like,
Boop, 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 boop.
can we be friends?
Boop, 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 boop.
But can we be friends? Hello?
So we'll do a manual override on that. I think just like if it's expecting a connector on the other side, I'm imagining that it's like okay, we'll have to just steer it in and tell it to lock in place, and because it doesn't have the connection points.
Ideally, visually from the design, there should be a way to hook this. You know, and you turn, and you're like, yeah, this is like a little funky, but it would, like the magnets line up. This should work.
Okay.
But their end isn't like reacting in the way that it's supposed to, like at all.
Gotcha.
There is an external like manual thing you could do, but somebody would have to spacewalk to like get their end to open up. And then that person is going to be outside the docking arrangement. They'll have to go around to the other airlock to get back in your ship. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that's probably a job for me. I think I probably have the most spacewalking experience and probably the best vac suit, because I dropped a lot of money on my vac suit.
Okay.
You're not getting any arguments of Max.
Ursa, you don't want to go?
I was almost gonna volunteer Ursa, but if Satch does it, like that's fine.
I mean,
I'm not
2
gonna
is
fight
better
you.
on a spacewalk,
I
the
might
buddy system.
go with you with the extra tools. I feel like, if nothing else, we can brute force our way in.
Sure.
Also, I need to talk to you between games about modifying my backsuit for reasons.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool.
Just a lot of the stuff Alex had on his.
Oh,
Actually.
yeah. That's fine. So, yeah.
Editor's note, Alex is a character from another game.
Oh, yeah, from Yuma
Also
Station that
a
just
cover.
wrapped up.
His suit had punch guns, which I just like.
Yeah, it was all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
All kinds of fun toys.
Yeah, we can finish your shopping list. Yeah. It's all stuff that's in the book. Like, I didn't invent anything
Oh,
new.
I know. I just wanted to be able to
Oh,
put
yeah.
it on the suit.
We get suited up. We go out. It's pretty easy to check
So-
suits and...
So, in that vein, I do want to let you know a little bit about, like, Satch's MO. So I have, suit repair pouches on everything.
Okay.
He typically, like I said, he typically wears, like, a flight jumpsuit open at the top and, like, tied around his waist.
Yep.
But he would put that on, and he has a projectile that he wears with that suit.
Like a slug thrower?
Like a
kinda
slug
gun?
thrower.
Okay, yep.
And he has that underneath the vac suit when he puts that on.
Okay. So when you're in space, you can't get your handgun out.
Correct. But he
Okay.
does have a recoilless handgun that he has strapped on the outside of like one of the 0G weapons.
Sure.
And whenever he's going to explore something like this, he would go armed, as well as having all the tools and everything, because you never know who's going to be there, or sometimes you just need to blow something up.
Yep.
On
You
there.
ever smash a faceplate? Just saying.
You never know. Yeah. So the two of you head out. We don't have to roll to put on vac suits. It's a thing every Draupnir person grows up doing because you live exposed to space. Right? Like, this is not a thing we have to roll for. But you head out. You examine the docking collar. Like, it doesn't seem damaged or anything. So if we want to do I don't know, mechanic, engineering.
Is there like an emergency?
Yeah, that's
Open?
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to activate. Is like get this emergency release, and then it'll just like unlock, and then you can like drag it out a little bit and get it to like magnet to yours, and then yours will finish the job.
And that's why Ursa came with you and not Cece.
Yeah, this is more of a brute force than anything else.
Well, it's more finesse. There's no weight. There's only mass.
Yes, exactly. So, if Satch, if you want to roll mechanic, I think that's the thing to start us off.
Okay.
And then Irsa, if you want to prep an athletics check,
Mixed with what?
Mechanic and what?
Oh, mechanic and education, athletics and strength.
10, 11.
Okay, so mixed result. Your. Yeah, I gotta have those like fun options for the middle range of.
Choose
I
one.
had a thought,
Yeah.
but it's a bad one.
What is
so it's
it?
more for a catastrophic failure situation.
Well, I'm adding all things to the list.
Have you ever played Hard Space Shipbreaker?
No.
First of all, you should. It's very meditative. Second of all, if you fail to depressurize an airlock in that game before you cut into a ship,
It blows
explodes.
out. Yeah.
A small, like if there's a problem with getting the lock open, because
Sure.
I actually rolled a 12 on just pulling the thing out.
Sure.
There may be a little bit of force behind that.
Yeah, because you both have the middle result there. Okay, so let's
Pick a
see.
brain.
I should have done this before we. Okay, so I think one of these like middle options is going to be like, yeah, you got it done, but like you injured yourself a little bit, you know. But I wouldn't totally. Oh yeah, well, I guess we're going to sort of use their health system for now.
Can I give you another option that is maybe everything goes perfectly fine and smoothly, but there might be trouble disconnecting it afterwards,
Sure. Yeah,
like
Yeah,
as a
that's great.
potential complication.
that's great. Yeah, it's a little bit locked open,
Right.
which when you go to disconnect is not ideal.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And
But here's the thing. I don't think we know that yet.
yeah, that's
oh, we
fine.
don't, but I have a chain drive axe.
Okay.
Yeah, the table knows. The table knows, but the characters do not.
Right.
Irsa, you got to haul this thing out, and I think the problem is it like slides out way easier than you thought it was going to,
Just launches backwards.
and the negative impact is that this is the moment where Irsa realizes that she had not like alligator clipped in.
That
and
stressed me out.
like Irsa just has a moment of like drift, and then your back hits Satch's ship, and you stop drifting.
Easy
But, like-
there, cowboy.
But can we just apply one psyche damage
One
of
Yeah.
stress.
yeah
Stress. The
Yeah.
stress meter. I'll roll sanity like
yeah
now.
yeah yeah it's like Irsa's nightmare.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
drifting off into space.
Interstellar,
And-
not interstellar. Gravity.
yeah
Absolute nightmare.
yeah so
Listen, thruster on your left. It's you.
Against the ship.
You're okay.
We're fine.
You're okay.
It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
yeah, it wasn't a catastrophic roll, but yeah, you got a little panic moment.
And the thunder
Yeah.
goes off
Frau
again.
Blucher.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good moment.
Real panic.
So your docking collar kind of takes over the rest of the work and starts pressurizing things. Just like passive mechanics of the go for broke, it like have to respond to the like pressure change, and you can see it start to move.
Okay.
Right? But you're gonna have to go back into your ship through the other door.
Okay.
And figure out what's happening.
So you're aware on the Brosnia there's two like human-sized airlocks, and
Yeah.
then the back of this cargo compartment.
Oh, I
also
didn't know that
opens.
part. Okay, that's cool. So you have
Right.
a big like truck door.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So in this case, we'd just be going around. We'd just go to the other airlock.
Yeah.
And get in that
Yeah,
one.
and cycle in. And yeah, you're watching on the screen sensors. You're like, yeah, okay, no, we're not losing pressure. Everything's like, you're seeing the like all the like signal confirmations of like, yeah, pressure's equalizing. CC would be able to recognize a lot of problems. I think a lot of your job is like, is this maintaining pressure?
Yeah.
It's like a basic check for any mechanic in space. So yeah, it seems like we could go in there with vac suits and open the door and see what happens. So, are we all ready to head in there?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to say one more thing. I want to talk about the Brosnia for a moment. Is when you come inside the main airlock, mounted above the door on the main airlock is, in the game terminology, a cutlass. but it is a curved sword that Satch insists is an authentic Cossack saber
Yeah.
Yep.
on there,
Yeah.
and he is inordinately.
Oh, microphone go for a ride.
Microphone went for a ride, and I didn't want to
Yep.
pop a bomb.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is inordinately proud of it. You have seen him use it with the. I'm putting the air quotes for anyone listening. He is not skilled with it, but it looks cool.
Have you done
and so
like
he
some
wants to be-
VR training of
Yes.
like
No,
a
it's
VR
not.
trainer, and you're like hit the like ghost image
Exactly.
of like
He's
You
yeah,
played Beat Saber
he's-
with
yes,
it?
yes.
Oh, dear.
I like
Okay.
that.
yeah, beat cutlass.
Beat gutless. But I think that in this case, he would also have given you the codes to the weapons locker, so
Okay.
everyone on board will have that as well. And in there, he has quite a few guns and other hand weapons as well.
Okay, so who's picking up a gun of some kind?
I come with a lot of my own accessories,
Yeah,
but I
okay.
will take anything that is offered.
Okay, we'll figure out the details
No,
of
no,
like.
no. Like I'm not
Yeah.
saying anyone needs to be healed. I'm just saying, in general, I trust these people and will give them the code,
Sure.
at least on a temporary basis, to be able to get in there if they need to.
Sure. Would Max think to pick up a gun?
He would probably pick up a stun gun, like a
Hmm.
stunner, because we don't want to give Max a firearm.
Yeah. Sounds like fun to me.
So I think like what I would offer you is I have one of the shock gauntlets. Shock
nice.
gloves.
Stun gloves.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will take that. I will take that in a heartbeat.
Great.
Okay. What about Cece?
I think she would just carry a big wrench.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's not like she'd be unaware of the danger, right?
Right.
It's an inherent risk of what we're doing here, but yeah, okay, that's fine. So the door cycle, is that?
Yeah.
Okay. You're-
Oh, and we're at time.
well, not quite, not quite. I get 8 minutes.
No, I was just teasing.
Yeah.
For the
Your door cycle's open. The go for broke door gets sort of like half open because it's just completely in passive mode, and you have to get in there like turn the wheel to open it the rest of the way. But yeah, you get it open. You can see the Go for Broke's inner door is still sealed, so there's room for all of you to go in. You're gonna have to like manually close the Go for Broke's outer door. But when you press, like, okay, let's pressurize this airlock, it's just like, there's no light, there's no,
Nothing.
it's just click, click, like,
okay.
and if anything, like, this is a dead man switch system, right? Like, this is the last thing that should die on a ship like this.
Right.
Because if you're outside and you need an emergency, like, airlock, this is a thing that has to work.
Right.
And it is
It is not.
not.
Okay.
So we're going to need probably a mechanics check from someone who feels comfortable doing so.
I am, and I know that Cece is. I think I
It would
actually
be
have,
a mechanics plus education, I think.
I can do it.
because I think your education is higher,
8.
makes up for it.
Ooh. Okay. Well, 8 is in the bad
is the
range.
fair.
8
Oh.
minus is the.
I thought
Okay.
it was the minimum. Dang it.
Is your
occurs to me
education
as we were
plus 1 or
crossing,
plus
Plus 2.
plus 2? Okay.
I rolled a
What's-
6.
It occurs to me as we were crossing, we probably should have done something like put little extra lines on each other, just in case.
Well, you're inside an airlock.
Oh, I
right now.
know.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, now that we've rolled an 8, I'm thinking
yeah.
about it.
Are we all going in?
I thought
I
everyone
think
was
we
in the
are,
airlock,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're too small a crew to
Yeah.
not,
All right.
unless you think someone should stay.
Well, it's one of those things where I would kind of think that someone would stay on sensors to make sure that there isn't anyone creeping up on us, or in case something happens on the ship, there's someone else who can come in front.
Actually, Chet makes a very valid point. Thank you for pointing out that. You are welcome to make an assist roll if you would like.
Excellent. Okay.
Now, it is possible to make this worse. I haven't said what's about to happen.
Right.
It is technically possible. So, It's up to you. Well, you get to
Okay.
roll 2 dice, I think, and
Oh, I didn't know if we were right. Sorry. The other thing.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it as 2 to 8 makes it worse. 9
Okay.
to 12, she gets a +1, and 13 plus, she'll get a +2 probably.
Oh no,
Ooh.
What is that?
that's a 6 also.
But what's your mechanics?
1.
Oh,
That's a 2 and a 3, and a 1 is 6.
and what's your education?
No bonus.
Okay.
So this was a fun game.
Yeah,
Have a
I
good
put
evening.
it.
So I think I am
put it-
on the ship.
Yeah, you were asking who's staying back on the ship,
Right,
Like,
yeah.
that's-
Like, I mean, as clearly the person who runs the sensors, I'm clearly staying. No.
yeah.
we're
Yeah, I
all
was
the-
going by TV show standards where we all just go, because
Yeah.
why wouldn't we go?
Yeah, exactly.
True. Okay.
Okay, so
Because we all yell at those shows.
yeah. So the original problem
Fuck.
was this inner door cracks. Like you were able to you use a power cell, you hotwire the, because the inner door is it needs some sort of indication that it's time to open, right? The original problem was that this door is stuck open, and we're gonna find we need to find another way out of the ship because now your ship will have power locked.
Because it's going. Oh, this is an open end.
Yes. Yeah. But it's
Take a hard move later.
yeah.
You have a week to think about it.
Something bad finds you. But let's see. I think someone's gonna have to get hurt. The door opens and there's enough of a pressure difference that some debris comes out. I'm gonna.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
My roll made it worse. It should be me.
It sure should. Sometimes that's not how shit happens.
I also would like to tank it. We're not going to.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with starting on my left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? It's Clara.
Yes!
I mean, I'm so sorry, but
Now I'm gonna roll for damage,
That's fine.
and we're gonna do like Traveller does so far, and have it come off of your
Physical stats.
stamina,
Oh, fuck. It's your endurance, isn't it?
endurance. Yeah.
Okay.
It's all 3 physical stats, isn't it?
It's
and it's
your
if one
well,
goes
strength, dex,
below.
endurance, and then
Right.
you get to remove as you go, but I think he gets to choose which one I lose
I think
from.
it's supposed to start with endurance.
I'll take it from endurance.
Yeah.
It's not great if I do, but I will
Oh,
take it from
no.
endurance.
Excuse me, Joey.
Do you want another D8?
No, I want one.
Wow.
Okay.
I tried to. This one was about to roll an 8 for you.
Okay. It's 4.
Cool,
4
cool,
damage.
cool.
As I think like a service dolly that it just was like the kind of thing you would wheel in all your supplies and stuff, and was probably secured at some point, but the camera sees this thing that was lashed to the wall. The webbing just crumbles in the pressure change, and this sort of flat appliance dolly kind of thing. It's only one washing machine tall, but it just spins, bangs off the edge of the thing, and smacks into Ursa.
That's fine.
It doesn't damage your vac suit, right? Your vac suit is yellow in a couple of spots in your heads-up display of your humanoid, your VATS.
Yeah.
Do you play Fallout? Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Okay. But nothing's in the red, and a couple of them went yellow of huh. Oh, never mind. I'm okay.
There's you hear it. I'm okay.
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm all right. Gets
And
back.
this-
It missed the 2 people at the front and
Yeah.
just went straight forward.
Yeah.
We
and-
both ducked.
We dodged.
You
Yeah.
ducked.
And
wasn't
as a
paying
reminder for everyone, we don't have artificial gravity in this game. So, but as from the point that you were docked, everyone was in 0G.
I
'cause
was
you were,
gonna ask,
You
yeah.
were done decelerating, and
Right.
you had come to a stop.
Would we have
So,
mag boots?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, mag boots are fine. We just don't have artificial gravity, so we are clunk, clunk, clunk. Or you can float if you want to. I think you got knocked off your boots.
Yeah, I almost would rather float if we're going through this. 'cause-
Well, that's up to you. But this thing knocked you off your magnetic boots if you were magnetized, and it pings around the inside of this thing, and it definitely like bangs up some more of the inside of the Gopher Broke's airlock, and then you see this like red light kind of through the window to your airlock. That's like lock. You're like, emergency lock established. I think even the ship comes over your radio like, don't worry, the emergency lock is established.
Yeah, yes. And it was confirmed that the first damage comes off of endurance, and then you can pick other things as you see fit.
Great. Awesome. I remembered a thing.
Cool. Wait, does that artificially lower my endurance score to that, or?
I think until you get healed up. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So what did you start at?
8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's not a lot.
You just halved my endurance.
Okay.
Which is fine, because we've established in a previous game, and I was looking at my notes, confounded, that Irsa has IBS, so she already wasn't working with a great endurance.
Yeah, okay.
The voice that says, don't worry, it's been engaged, is Max's voice.
Fantastic.
because Satch thinks it's funny.
Did you buy the like voice pack?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
of course.
Okay. And
It's like the Garmin enhancement where you can put another voice in there.
yeah, exactly. And I think Ursa getting dollied is the perfect place for credits to roll.
Great.
Is that maybe the episode Hello Dolly?
Yes, it is now.
We did it.
Keep it in. That's gold. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us. Hold on, I need my script. I don't know. Where are we? What are we doing? I lost it. I lost the
There's
script.
a script for this show.
I didn't get my
I
sides.
didn't get sides or
Thank
anything.
you for joining us on Happy Jacks RPG on Twitch. And you can head over to happyjacks.org/shows to catch up on any and all past episodes of just about everything we've ever done here. Or happyjacks.org/thedrop to get a little bit of information about the show. I think some cute pictures of us and links to watch past episodes. So I don't know if there's actually cute pictures of us in there, but you can pretend or just pause this moment.
Screen caps.
Yeah.
Choices.
Yep. But thank you so much for joining us for episode 2 of The Drop. We will be back next week, right? We're all on? Yep. We are a weekly show, so that's a little different from normal Happy Jack scheduling, so just be aware of that. And I think that's it. So let's go around and let the people know where they can find you. Clara.
Hi, I'm Clara. You can find me all over the internet as clearly_golden, unless you're into mermaids. In which case, you can find me on Instagram as mermaid_clarity, except for the last 6 hours today, which honestly was the most stressful 6 hours of my life. That's sad. I am here every Monday, and I am over on Jason's other channel. It's probably okay, where I am playing demigods with this fucker. With Joey and Jason, Demigods Media Storm, where I play the opposite of Ursa, actually. Just a wreck. A little wreck. And that should be it.
Joey.
Hi, I'm Joey. You can find me on the social medias at Feywild85, FEYWILDE85, where you'll see me post a lot more on Twitter when all the other social medias go down, apparently. I was very bored not wanting to work today. So, also you can catch me, like Clara said, on Jason's channel. It's probably okay. Every Sunday at 2 o'clock playing Demigods Media Storm, where I am also playing the opposite of this character. I think we just kind of swapped.
Yeah, actually.
And that's fine. Jason definitely doesn't regret that decision, putting me and Clara in 2 games at the same time.
Choices were made.
That's all I got.
Okay. Nick?
Hey everyone, I'm Nick. You can find me on Twitter at Sungrowler, SUNGROWLER. I'm also on Insta, but I think I've posted one thing in the entire time I've been on there, so don't join me there. It's pointless. You can catch me here every Monday night playing this lovely game of The Drop, and no other online presence.
Okay. And Michelle.
Hey, I'm Michelle, and you can find me on Twitter at Mishulu. I'm not on Facebook or Instagram, so I didn't know it went out today until like really late in the day.
I didn't know either.
But you can also find me on a lovely little podcast I called 12-Sided Stories. Yes, I named it. That's canon now.
Yep.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's
I
no
will
one
never
here to
question
argue
that.
with
Yeah,
you.
exactly. So
It's fact.
no, 12-Sided Stories, you can find it on all the podcast platforms. Give us a listen because it's a load of fun.
Awesome. Nick, is it possible for us to do the intro video again for folks who missed it before going to the calendar?
Yeah, I was going to ask if you want me to do that.
Yeah. Folks, if you're in chat right now, Bill freaking Roper also in chat and on Twitter and those things, I think as Bill freaking Roper. Hopefully I got that right. But did our intro video for us. It is amazing. I love it. And he put up with a lot of my very fussiness. I think that's a word. So I'm eternally grateful, and I hope you enjoy it. So we'll see you next time. Thank you.